Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the race watch-along for the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix. How are we all doing this Sunday evening? Pre-evening? Afternoon? Night? What year is this? Yes, hope you're all well and ready for this one. It should be all things crossed. A cracking race today with an interesting grid. A grid that's changed since I spoke to you yesterday, which we'll get into in just a moment. But yeah, round 4 of the season already. Oscar Piastri looking very good on pole position. As always, I've got a poll for you in chat as well. Who do you think is going to win it? I can only give you 4 options, four options. So top 3 on the grid plus other, which could be any driver you can possibly imagine if you'd like. Oscar Piastri currently winning that 55%, other on 25%. And Russell's got 2%, Leclerc 18%. So a lot of you think Leclerc's got a shot today, which will be fantastic. If he could win that one, I'll go mad if we get a Ferrari win this early in the season, like a proper race win. I mean, no offence to Lewis Hamilton, but the sprints don't really count for anything, other than a few points, of course. But yeah, there you go. How are we all doing in chat? Let's say hello to a few people here. Hopefully all working okay today. Hey to Tim, to Biker John as well, to Annette. Hope you're well, Annette. Net Crop, Ender, to Pascal, probably hoping for a cracking race, but also hoping for a Sauber result, I'd imagine, today. To Pierre as well. Pirelli showed their prediction. Medium hard as a viable option. God, I hope they're wrong. Absolutely agree. We'll get onto that shortly. Hey to Clash Cocktail. That could have gone wrong. Hey to Kevin. Hey to Sema. No problem. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Fud. Hey Anushka as well. Fingers crossed for some Ferrari fun today. Hopefully just a cracking race overall. So, yeah, ready for this one. Let's go over then. A bit of news since yesterday. So, when I left you yesterday, George Russell and Kimi Antonelli were both under investigation for entering the fast lane in the pit lane before a restart time was confirmed. So to break this down very quickly, essentially a predicted restart time was given. They were then sent out by the team. They're not allowed to do that until they're given the official time. That came a little bit later, and so they actually broke the rules. Now, they did go and talk to the stewards. There was a conversation there. I'll read the decision to you. The team representative, which was Andrew Shovlin, in evidence stated that he gave the instruction for the cars to be released in error, having misinterpreted the message posted on page 3 on the timing screen, which was estimated restart time, to be a message advising the actual restart time. He argued there was no sporting advantage gained in the case that there was sufficient time remaining, 11 minutes for other teams to perform their run plans. It was also noted that the sporting director, Mr. Meadows, as it says here, which will be Ron Meadows, was not present at the event and that normally he would be involved in the release process. The FIA single-seater sporting director stated that such a move could be a sporting advantage in that it could enable a team to perform its run plan, whereas others may not be able to. The stewards agree with that view, particularly when there are only a few minutes remaining in the session. The FIA sporting director argued that there needed to be a sporting penalty rather than a team fine. Otherwise, in future, teams would release their cars as soon as the estimated restart time was published. The stewards agreed with this view. Now, Andrew Shovlin argued it was possible to give a non-sporting penalty if the stewards declared that it was not to be taken as a precedent, but also stated that if a sporting penalty was to be given, it should be mitigated. The stewards agreed with the view that the breach should be a sporting penalty, but did accept that the breach was unintentional and a genuine mistake by the team. So basically, as we've said, but when Charles Leclerc got his fine in not Belgium, Germany a few years ago for his unsafe release, and people said that set a bad precedent because what you're saying is you're putting a price then on what it's going to cost for an unsafe release or going out to the end of the pit lane too early, or setting a precedent. And if someone's going to pay a €5,000 fine, they might take that if it gives them an advantage, so they have to give a sporting penalty. So they both got a 1-place grid drop. That means that Oscar Piastri is now joined on the front row by Charles Leclerc. George Russell drops to 3rd place. Pierre Gasly, driver of the day yesterday by a mile, really. 4th place in that Alpine. He's there now, with Kimi Antonelli dropping down to 5th place. Lando Norris 6th. Max Verstappen 7th. Carlos Sainz in 8th. Lewis Hamilton 9th. Yuki Tsunoda in 10th. Jack Doohan 11th. 12th was Isaac Hadjar. 13th was Fernando Alonso. 14th was Ocon. 15th is Alexander Albon. Controversially again. Nico Hulkenberg 16th, Liam Lawson 17th, Gabriel Bortoleto 18th, Lance Stroll 19th, and Ollie Bearman in 20th place is your grid. Seems fair, I suppose. It makes sense. If you've got to try and cover off teams potentially taking a mickey with it and gaining a sporting advantage of any kind, you've got to put some kind of sporting penalty on it and set that precedent early. But they do say in the document, actually, which is interesting, a key line, which I think we're going to see a lot more in documents. We decided to impose a one-position grid penalty. A similar breach in different circumstances could entail a more severe sporting penalty in future. So essentially saying there, just because that the precedent, if you like, has been set of a one-place grid drop, if something more severe happens in future along the same lines, it might be more. So they're kind of covering their backs nice and early there, the FIA, as always. So yeah, I don't think there's any major kickoff there. Even George Russell said in the driver parade, second or third makes no difference really. He's on the cleaner side of the grid now, which is a bonus, but he thinks that in Bahrain, you tend to finish in the order of the pace of the cars. So the fastest car first, the slowest car last. So he feels he'd end up where he would do anyway. So he's not overly fussed about it. And if they're not kicking up a stink, then fair enough. The only person really that's not happy is James Vowles and Alex Albon. They're not pleased with what happened in quali yesterday. Apparently the FIA got the call after Q1 had finished. So there was nothing they could do about that one to let them know that the track limits had been breached, and that's why it was under investigation. That's why the penalty came so late. But they need to sit down and sort that one out in future. We've got the technology these days to do that quicker, surely. So semi-automated offside in the Premier League this weekend, for goodness sake. We're a bit behind the times in the UK, but across Europe they've been doing that for quite a bit, haven't they? So hopefully F1 could use some of their technology to come up with something similar for track limits. But let's see what happens. It's quite a fast-paced sport, isn't it, Formula One? You might have noticed. So strategy-wise as well, it was touched on there in the chat. One stop is possible today if you start on the mediums and run to lap 22 to 28 and then run the hards to the end of the race. That's possible, but it is the fifth option on Pirelli's strategy guide. So hoping that's not the case. They reckon that it'll be a soft start for a lot of drivers, go from lap 10 to lap 16, then onto the mediums or the hards, run those to lap 32 to 39 or 33 to 39, and then a set of mediums to the end. The other option is to go medium, hard, medium with a 14 to 20 laps into at the start, 34 to 40 in the middle on hards, and then mediums at the end. Or you could go medium, hard, and soft, which I kind of wouldn't mind seeing. Let's see all three compounds there. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So effectively the reverse of the second strategy there, but hopefully not a one-stopper. I want to see undercuts. I want to see strategy. I want to see racing. We just want a good race. That's all we want, and strategy's part of that. So I'll just have a quick look through the tyre sets actually while we're talking strategy and see if there's anything in here whatsoever that is worth picking out of the front. So Verstappen has got two sets of the hard tyre, brand new sets. McLaren, Ferrari, and I believe Aston Martin, Sauber as well have two sets of new medium tyres. But yeah, the only team with any new softs, really, the first one on the list is Aston Martin, and then it's all the back end who didn't take part in full qualifying, of course, because they didn't get out of Q1 and Q2. But yeah, that's interesting for Verstappen, an extra set of hard tyres. If that turns out to be, which it can do sometimes, turns out to be the best race tyre, he might be in a really good position there. So keep an eye out for that in the race. Everyone else, pretty much, literally everybody else has one set of new hard tyres. So interesting. Who knows? They're getting ready for the national anthem. It looks like all drivers have got there in time. I think Carlos Sainz was fined an absolute fortune. I know Lando Norris just appearing now for having a wee, basically. Was how it turned out. That's not how the document puts it, but that is essentially what it was. That's inflation for you. It used to be spend a penny. Now it's spend about 15 grand just for having a wee. There you go. What have we got here? I cringe every time Martin does his grid walk, says Annette. And yeah, it can get cringy, can't it? And Steve says, can anyone explain the extreme hate Lando is getting and the extreme glaze Piastri is getting? Lando has an iffy start and people treat him like he's Mazepin. I thought I said marzipan for a second. I was like, what? Piastri has a decent start and he's Senna. I don't think I've ever seen it go to that extent. I think there'll be an element, if you're talking social media, there'll be an element of Lando Norris being British media being quite the dominant force in F1 media, and so people like to over-exaggerate when a British driver does badly and when they do well. I've not seen anyone saying that Piastri's amazing when he has a good start or anything to that extent, but I mean, Piastri comfortably beat his teammate yesterday, didn't make any mistakes, and is on pole. So relative to this weekend, I think Piastri deserves all the praise he's getting, and Norris deserves a little bit of the criticism he's getting, but sixth place is not where he should be in that car. So relative to this weekend, Steve, that's that's what I would say. But on socials, I was told yesterday, post-stream by somebody, just ignore it. And I know it's easier said than done. Social media is everywhere. It's dominant in our lives, isn't it? But just ignore it and draw your own conclusions. We're relatively safe here. I'll have my strops from time to time and say things that upset people, but we're a relatively safe space here. So if you're a big Lando fan, absolutely get in the chat and cheer him. If you're a big Verstappen fan, do the same. If you really dislike George Russell, then feel free to do that too. But it's all about opinions over here. We're not gonna go too far into the social media stuff. Although we do enjoy a little bit of speculation, which annoys some people. But so Jackie Stewart, by the way, this weekend he's just appeared with Simon Lazenby on TV. He's got a helmet there for his dementia, or for a dementia charity that is signed by all 20 living world champions, including Michael Schumacher, which choked me up a little bit earlier when I read that. I was like, oh, what? Apparently it's understood that he was helped, understandably, by his wife, Corinne, for that signature there, but it's on there, all 20 living world champions, and he's been driving the Tyrrell 006 around Bahrain. I checked XPB just before I went live, and they've got some pictures on there, but unfortunately I didn't have time to get him in the stream, so that's a shame, but it looked fantastic out there. So well done to Sir Jackie there, raising money for a very, very good cause, and great to see all those names and signatures on there. So yeah, good. So always, it's also nice to see Jackie around. It's like any legend of the sport around. It's good to see. So yeah, looks like we're about to get the national anthem, which will be fun. So we'll do some questions, comments, predictions, anything you want to say ahead of this one. Are you excited? Are you dreading it? Do you think it's going to be terrible? Hopefully better than we've seen in recent weeks, as they talk to Yuki Tsunoda, who's starting in 10th place today. So I'll say it again. I said it yesterday. Not giving him excuses, but I think top 10 is pretty decent for Yuki Tsunoda. It's progress. He was nowhere near the top 10 last weekend, was he? So to get there this weekend, in his second weekend in that car, I think he deserves a bit of credit for that one. So there we go. Farsi Golper says, I hope Sainz isn't late for the national anthem. He looks like he's there. In fact, I think they're done now, so they've all got off now, ready to go again. If there's anything like F2 and F3 race, it should be a good one. The F2 sprint yesterday was crackers, wasn't it? Absolutely mad stuff, which I really enjoyed. Not often you see pit stops in a sprint race, but quite a few happening there. So enjoyed that one in the F2. And I sort of had F2 on in the background this morning. It's in a little bit not as dramatic as the sprint, but still a good race. So yeah, great stuff. That was done one, didn't he? That's just a spoiler alert, really. But there we go. I've said it now. So the Irish anthem on the podium was good. I know Thomas is very excited in the WhatsApp group about that. So thank you as well, by the way, if you did watch the short from Thomas yesterday from the paddock. It means a lot that people are tuning into that and dropping likes and have seemed to enjoy it. So we should have another one post race today. I'll try and get out a bit quicker. I got some templates in place yesterday, which should speed that process up a bit, but we'll see how we go. Hopefully that'll be out shortly after the race, once Thomas has got it filmed and I've got it captioned and all that business. So quite nice seeing, I'll be honest, it's quite nice seeing the paddock in the background on the channel for a change, rather than just my shelves or photos. But there you go. Try not to favour or dislike a driver, says Fudd, but I have a soft spot for Lando ever since I saw how good he was in Ginetta's, except Dick Tantrum. I really can't stand that guy, but thankfully not in F1. I'm you all know where my bias is, and multiple of them, actually, to be fair. So you know where they are. You know I'm rooting for Piastri. You know I'm behind Ferrari and Verstappen. So but I just enjoy good racing. So as much as I want the drivers I prefer to win, it's not going to ruin my day if Lando Norris wins or George Russell wins, or I don't know, looking down the list, Esteban Ocon wins. That'd be a bloody story, wouldn't it? But you know what I mean. I'm not going to be fussed about who wins, as long as I get a good race to get there. So I've said it before, it's about the journey, not the destination. Oh, even I feel sick saying that. I'm so sorry. That was so cringe. But you know what I mean. Don't care who wins the title, as long as we have a great season. So there we go. I'm going to be in Imola this year. It says Pascal, it's Sauber's 600th race weekend in Imola. I hope I could do a second race in the second half of the season. Is anyone else going into any races? First of all, very jealous that you're going to Imola. I'd love to go to Imola for a lot of reasons. Is it possibly the last one this year or next year? Possibly the last one for Imola. So depending on whether they want to keep 2 races in Italy. It doesn't sound like they want to, but yeah, I'm quite jealous of that. I'm not going to any races this year as far as I know, although I will keep badgering the folks at Planet F1, like, you got spare tickets, paddock passes, anything like that? Yeah, give a prod from time to time. You never know, but I won't be. I won't be this year, I wouldn't have thought. Silverstone, I used to try and get Silverstone as often as I could, but I know everything's pricey now, but I still feel like Silverstone's quite a lot of money for what it is, although it is a great weekend overall on and off track, so maybe it is worth the money, I don't know, but it seems a lot, so I've kind of not. Plus, it usually falls, the tickets usually come out when I'm skint, and then when I've got the money, they haven't got any left. So there you go. If you don't know who I'm cheering for, I'll stop watching your channel, Sean, says Annette. I think it's is it that Oscar Piastri fellow? I think it's some name like that, isn't he? Yeah, I think that's who you're rooting for. Now that Danny Rick's not here. A Frenchman crashing Haas off turn 2 in Bahrain. Where have we heard that storyline before? Says Murray. Yeah, don't forget as well we had Nikita Mazepin crash there, didn't he? On his debut, I believe, for Haas. So there's something about that corner, or that sequence of corners that Haas don't seem to like, although there'll be somebody that comes on and says, yeah, but we've had plenty of races and they've got through them. But, you get the joke. You get the joke. Clash Cocktail says, no race this year. Only one I went to was Zandvoort 23, which was enough racing for a few years. Yeah. I'd like to go to Zandvoort, actually. A great atmosphere. That's leaving the calendar at the end of next year, isn't it? Which would be a shame. I think the atmosphere there looks incredible, so I might maybe see if I could drag myself there next year for the final one, but probably not going to happen, so I'll have to miss out on that one, unfortunately. A Frenchman crashing a Haas off turn 2 in Bahrain. We've had that one already. Tuning from Jamaica, good morning. Just hope for a good race no matter who wins. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well. Moray says end of this year. No, I'm sure Zandvoort is end of next year. I think they are doing 26. And then after that, yeah, I'm sure it's 26. End of 26. Also talk of a race in South Africa, but not at Kyle Army. Looks like it's going to be another purpose-built street tracky type thing, which, Kyle Army's right there. Let's use proper racetracks if we can. Let's not get into that debate. We've got 8 minutes till the start of the race. If I start on that debate, we're going to miss the start of the race because I will go off on one now. We've got plenty. I'll just say that the usual line: lots of tracks across the world that are perfectly fit for purpose, or just need a little bit of money spent on them to make them fit for purpose. It'll be great for racing. We don't need to be building street tracks everywhere. You want to watch street racing? Go watch Formula E. I don't imagine you'll stick around long, but there you go. And let's get Lewis win from 9th, says Taliu. You never know. You never know. It is Bahrain. Chaos can happen. I hope not the Cape Town one. It's utter trash and I live there. Society Campus. Was it Cape Town? Table Mountain was in the background of the shots they did. So it would, I think it is Cape Town, isn't it then? Yeah. My geography isn't the best. I'll be honest about that one. What are your predictions then? Give me your podiums. There we go. Top 3. Obviously, that's what a podium is, Sean. There you go. Get your predictions in. I'll read them out. I'll do some shout-outs as well as we gear up for the start of the race. I am going to stick with what I said yesterday, which was Piastri for the win. Am I? Going to put Leclerc in there, maybe? No, I'll go Piastri, Russell and Norris. I just don't trust Ferrari's race pace, and I don't trust their strategy. So I'd like to see Piastri, Verstappen and Leclerc on the podium, or Antonelli in there somewhere, but I'll go Piastri, Russell and Norris. I think Norris has got the pace to get on the podium in that car, in my view anyway. So hopefully the timing should refresh in the next couple of minutes, ready to go for the race. So all good. Just a reminder, if you're just tuning in as well, 2 stopper is projected, 1 stopper is possible. We'll see what everyone starts on. They'll be able to work out from there what everyone's going to be doing. Keep an eye on Max Verstappen. He's got 2 new sets of hard tyres, so that might help him out today if the hard is the race tyre that everyone wants to be running. So let's have a look at your predictions. I saw someone got in nice and early, actually, but there we go. Jerry says, my prediction for the race, Piastri first, Lando second, George third. Fud says Leclerc, Antonelli, Piastri. Interesting. Fasting Golf Balls has gone with Bearman, Stroll and Lawson. I want to live where you live. That's great. Piastri, Hamilton and Tsunoda says Moray. Annette says Oscar, obviously. George Leclerc, actually, but George and Leclerc. Kevin's gone with Yuki, I'm assuming, for the win there. Anushka says Piastri, Leclerc and Verstappen. Piastri, Leclerc, Antonelli, and Sauber P10, says Pascal. Where are the Saubers? Ooh, might need a bit of drama, mate, but you never know. You never know. Moray says that Verstappen and Norris crashed. They are pretty much together on the grid as the music kicks in. I'll probably get things ready in a minute with the track map, etc. in just a second. Yes, Russell is the master of does nothing P3 though. True. Hamilton, Leclerc, and Antonelli for tell you never know. You never know. P1 Piastri, P2 Russell, P3 Norris, says Daniel. Sophia goes with Oscar, Max, and Kimi. I'd love to see Gasly on the podium, says Kevin, wouldn't we all? And Hatpro says Piastri, Norris, and Leclerc. They are your predictions. I think. Hey Craig, I hope you're well, mate. Good to see you again. I think we should be about good to go. So we'll get ready for I'll tell you what we're gonna do actually. I know why it's not working properly. Sean's being a donut. Not the first time, let's be honest. I need to go to the actual race timing. There we go, you see. There you go. I did it. I made it work. It's kicking in. I've still got the quali one up on my screen for some reason, so I might just have to have a quick rejig of that. So I'm going to now go and do that awkward thing where I try to talk and do two things at once. So if I suddenly start talking about something random, then please stop me before I go any further. I have got some news, actually. Some big news. And it's good news, unless you really love flies, and then it's terrible news. I got that little shit yesterday just after the stream finished. It landed on my keyboard and I just got it and then I had to try and clean my keyboard, but yeah, it had frustrated me all bloody stream yesterday and I finally got it. So breaking news, the fly is gone. If it appears later, I swear to God it's Jeff Goldblum. It's not an actual fly, because that would be taking the mickey. We got it. Just wait for this to catch up. So the grid then, Ollie Bearman starts 20th after a disappointing qualifying yesterday with Lance Stroll in 19th place. Gabriel Bortoleto is 18th in the Sauber with Liam Lawson in the Racing Bulls in 17th place. I don't know why they work backwards. They just do. Why not? Nico Hulkenberg in 16th, just behind Alex Albon there after the controversy. I'm going to keep calling it controversy yesterday. 15th and 16th. Esteban Ocon after his crash still somehow manages to start in 14th with Fernando Alonso in 13th for Aston Martin. It's 12th for Isaac Hadjar and 11th. Great showing yesterday from Jack Doohan there in the second Alpine. Yuki Tsunoda made it into the top 10 for Red Bull with Lewis Hamilton there in 9th place for Ferrari. It is Carlos Sainz. Great showing from him yesterday as well in 8th place. Needed that and he got it. 7th for Max Verstappen, far from Japan pace at the moment. It is 6th for Lando Norris, well off his teammate as well, with Kimi Antonelli demoted to 5th after that one-place grid drop yesterday following the pit lane infringement. 4th for Pierre Gasly. Great showing from him as well. Fantastic lap with George Russell in 3rd, also demoted one place. And then your front row, it is Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc. Piastri on pole, Leclerc P2. Let's see what happens into turn 1 today. This could be great. I will give you a countdown of the lights when we get there so that you can sync up if you need to. And I will try and give you the updates as we go. We've got all the timing. We've got the track map. So if I miss anything, then it'll all be there. But I will try. Yes, last lap. Thank you. Thank you, Fabian. Back again to save me before I get halfway to the race and forget. So we need to go from best lap to last lap on the timing. There we go. I don't know where I'd be without you, Fabian. I don't know where I'd be. There we go. Should all be good. Tyre-wise, interesting selections here. So Piastri on used softs, which have done 3 laps. Leclerc's on a fresh set of mediums in 2nd place. Russell's on a used set of softs, as is Gasly, Antonelli, Norris, Verstappen, and Sainz, all done 3 laps on those soft tyres. Lewis Hamilton is on the mediums. Tsunoda on a used set of softs, also done 3 laps on that one. Then it's Doohan, Hadjar on soft tyres, fresh softs. Alonso on fresh mediums. Ocon, Albon, Hulkenberg on fresh softs. Then it's fresh mediums for Lawson and Bortoleto, and fresh softs for Stroll and Ollie Bearman. So I said I wanted some strategy today. That's a really good mix. Just checking I've not got the TV on that you can hear it. There we go. Just put some sound on, have some commentary, some engine noise. But yeah, it's a really good mix of strategy there, actually. A lot of softs, but we've got some interesting medium calls out. I'll just double check when we see the cars, because sometimes that could be wrong. But it's a little surprising to see Leclerc going medium at the start. I think he has, yeah. Interesting. What do we make of that one then? Very interesting. Risk of rain, drum roll, 0%. I know we had rain in practice for like a minute, but yeah, no, it's dry. You'd expect it to be dry. Just going to click over to 6 p.m. in Bahrain. The light goes green, and off we go for the formation lap. While they're on the formation lap, please do drop a like on the stream. Really appreciate your support with that. That helps the channel in the algorithm, and it's completely free. Please do subscribe as well if you are new. Lots to come still this weekend, actually, and over the rest of this next week with the triple header in Saudi Arabia, of course, coming to an end. We've got Thomas shortly after the stream today, a few hours after the stream, let's say, with a wrap-up of the weekend from the paddock. We've got a video out tomorrow from Elizabeth that I'll be editing. She'll be narrating with a look at something from the weekend. We don't know what that'll be just yet. And then we've got a couple of shorts on Tuesday and Wednesday from Sam. I'll be back on Thursday with the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix preview. I'll be back with a short on Friday as well, and then I've got these streams, of course, across the weekend, next weekend too. So lots to come. Something every day. If you like streams, shorts, and videos. If you only like one or the other, then maybe not. But lots of content is what I'm saying, as Ollie Bearman is the last one to leave the grid, as you would expect. So slow at the back, isn't it, to get away? It's I don't think I'll have the pit limiter on and things like that, but does seem to take forever to get these formation laps out of the way. But I think that's called anticipation. I think that's me just being very excited. Could talk about rain until you check the nearby water park. It's the law. When's the camel? Have we had the camel stat yet from Crofty? That'll be the next one that comes out at some point today. If it gets a bit flat, he'll start talking about camels. That's for sure. You know what he's like. I'm going to end the poll because it's a bit daft doing it after the race starts. So your final prediction as a group, your group prediction, if you like, who will win the Bahrain Grand Prix? 51% of you say Oscar Piastri. 26% have gone with other. I'm going to assume most of you are thinking Norris Verstappen. I may be wrong. 17% say Leclerc, and 5% have gone with George Russell. Thanks for your votes on that one. And it's good as well that I managed to finish that before the start of the race. Usually halfway through I go, oh yeah, I ought to change that really, and 100% have gone with the race leader. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I like Bahrain as a racetrack. It's and I said it in the preview, and I know I'm probably, as we look at Paul Aaron there, I kind of feel like maybe I'm in the minority with it, but despite the fact it's been on the calendar for over 2 decades, it still feels quite new, which I suppose, relatively speaking, in Formula One history, if you compare it to, say, Monza, it is, but it has been around for 2 decades. So it's quite exciting to me that I still see it as a newish race, but it's not really, is it? So there you go. But we tend to get good racing here, so hopefully that's what we're going to get today. Hey, Extreme Gaming, yes, we got the face out, or I got the face out in testing and never looked back because everyone was like, yeah, it's fine. I was expecting just a lot of please never, ever, ever show us that again. But here we are. It's all good. Right then, here we go. Like I said, I'll count down the lights. They're just lining up on the grid now. Carlos Sainz getting into position. Lewis Hamilton and Yuki Tsunoda next. The medical car comes around that final corner. I have no idea who was with Toto, Kevin. I wasn't looking at Toto. Was that Sarah Ferguson? Sarah Ferguson, indeed. Bottom reference there. Anyway. Great sitcom if you've not seen it. Massively inappropriate, though. Here we go. Are we going to get the green flag with the FIA logo in the background? Just to remind us who's in charge. That's the green flag. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. It's going Bahrain. It's a decent start from Piastri. Russell looks like he's got a decent getaway as well. He's going to get ahead of Charles Leclerc on the run to 2-1. Is that the soft tyres? Just giving him that little bit of an advantage. He's on the outside. A big lock-up for George Russell, who goes for the lead. And he's squeezed out by Piastri. A great start from Lando Norris up to 3rd place as well. Although Charles Leclerc is going to fight this one back. These soft tyres clearly giving more grip off the line than the mediums, as you'd expect. They are wheel to wheel on the run to turn 3. Is Charles Leclerc going to keep his nose in there? He is indeed. lead. Norris just ahead as they come through there in third place. And we've got Kimi, Antonelli and Pierre Gasly scrapping here. Gasly going backwards off the line there. And Antonelli's off track, so that won't be allowed to stand. He'll have to let that one go. Good start as well for Carlos Sainz with a cracking start as the timing screens go mad. Up to, it's only up one place, but he's ditched Max Verstappen up to 7th. And he's now going to get Kimi Antonelli into turn 9 for P6. Good start from Carlos Sainz there. Lewis Hamilton just ahead of Yuki Tsunoda still. Jack Doohan in 11th place. Tsunoda having a look now at the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton as Oscar Piastri now starts to build his lead. But really, great start there for Carlos Sainz. Great start as well for Lando Norris. And I think Sainz is actually still in 6th place, not 5th, of course, because Norris also gained a place. So there we go. The timing screens are going crackers. I'll do my best to keep up with it. But great start for Norris. Good start as well. The Racing Bulls going side by side there as Hadjar passes Lawson into turn 13. Lawson on the medium tyre, Hadjar on the softs. But yeah, Piastri, Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Antonelli, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda are your top 10. Like I say, great start for Norris up to 3rd place. It was a strong start for Russell, actually, just not a million miles away from pipping Piastri. It was a bit bold with the lockup, but he got there in the end, as we see. Is that Ollie Bearman having a go? Alex Albon and then locks up, and yeah, not going to happen through there. He's still on track, but that's a big lockup and stays where he was. He might need to pit there, Bearman. That was a big lockup. We'll see whether he decides to do that. But yes, great starts for Norris up to 3rd, up 3 places. Sainz has gone 2 as well. 6th. Antonelli down 2 to 7th. Verstappen drops a place to 8th. Gasly down 1. Leclerc down 2 as well. That medium tyre start not working for Charles Leclerc. There is my early prediction there from the restart. It's just the extra grip from the softs. Bad starts. Hadjar's down 4 places. Did just pass the teammate in the Racing Bulls of Liam Lawson. So what's going on with Bearman again here? He's up 5 places, then just moved up a couple more and dropped some more. So I don't know what's going on. We're not watching him at the moment. Seems to be squabbling a bit with Albon and Alonso as Max Verstappen is chasing down Kimi Antonelli for P7. Lewis Hamilton not far behind. Yuki Tsunoda and Jack Doohan actually keeping Yuki Tsunoda very close indeed. Just 4/10 of a second between them, but still early in this race at the moment. 57 laps today. 56 left. Albon is a firework. That was from Johnny Barrio. He's getting a place. He's up to 14th place for Albon. The pace is in that car, so hopefully he can get up a little bit higher than that and maybe pick up some points as well. But yeah, great start for Carlos Sainz in the other Williams. The driver tracker is definitely delayed, and I'll tell you why the driver tracker is delayed, because Sean's been a donut and hasn't synced it with the TV. So let's sort that. There we go. That should all be okay. I'm commentating on things that are happening in the future. There we go. We've got that all lined up nicely. So apologies for that. I usually do that at the start and I forgot because it was refreshing. So there we go. So just to confirm, Piastri, Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, Antonelli, Verstappen, Hamilton and Tsunoda your top 10. Do a knock on Albon, Alonso, Bearman, Hadjar, hang on a second, Lawson, Stroll, Bortoleto, Hulkenberg. Incident involving car number 4, Lando Norris, false start, out of position. Now, we have seen them not given, but he is out of position, or he could have been out of position according to race control. So Norris may be about to face an investigation and potential penalty. So we'll keep an eye out for that one as it comes in. Antonelli's lap time was deleted at turn 7 on lap 1, as you'd expect, given he was about 3.5 miles off track. But yes, potential trouble for Lando Norris. They tend to be penalties, but we have seen on occasion them not given transponders and all that business. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. At the moment, Piastri leading 1.4 seconds clear of Norris, who is a second behind Russell. Sorry, Russell, who is a second behind. No, Norris is second behind Russell. I was right. Yeah, sorry. Norris is second behind Russell. 1.1 Leclerc to Norris as Norris gets within DRS now of George Russell on the run to turn 1. He's going to need to clear that Mercedes as quickly as possible just in case he does get a penalty. But this is interesting. Pierre Gasly is right behind Charles Leclerc here. He's not being dropped, Gasly. So this is Obviously, soft tyre versus mediums, but this is genuine pace from that Alpine, which is good to see. And Jack Doohan's still pretty much on the back of Yuki Tsunoda as well. So good paces from the Alpines. Very, very good to see. Fudd says time to take 45 minutes to investigate. Yeah, they'll take about a week before they actually make a decision. If it says investigate after the session, there'll be uproar. But yes, who knows? Who knows? We'll see what happens. The FIA, they surprise us all. Lewis Hamilton on the team radio says grip is quite poor on this tyre. Of course, Hamilton on the medium tyres. Norris, we're getting a bit of a DRS train behind Leclerc, actually. Gasly, Sainz, Antonelli, Verstappen, just everybody down to Esteban Ocon in DRS. Lap times deleted for Alonso and Antonelli as well. So Antonelli's had 2 already, has Kimi. So he needs to be careful in this race. 3 is a warning, of course. 4 is a penalty. So keep an eye on that one for Antonelli. That's not good. Not ideal is what I'm going to describe that as. Interesting start. Curious start, I shall say. We'll wait for see what strategy and what pans out here. I'm hoping we don't get too much tyre management. I know it's part of the sport, but let's we had plenty of that last week. Let's get some chaos today. Bit of action. So Norris is now under investigation, out of position, false starts. If that's gone to investigation, as Antonelli goes up the inside of Carlos Sainz, that was an aggressive move into turn 1, but Antonelli does move through into 6th place. Wait for a replay of that. Now, Sainz won't get the DRS, so he's going to have to defend from Max Verstappen, who has got the DRS, who tries around the outside of turn 4. That'll be a bold move if you pull that one off, Max, but he's going to stick it out there. Sainz is going to go defensive. Verstappen kicking up the dust on the exit there, side by side, and just sneaks through into 7th place. Was he all 4 wheels over the white line? We'll have to wait and see, but I mean, he was sort of squeezed out there a bit, wasn't he? Verstappen says he doesn't leave me a car's width, so radio seems to be a bit quicker today as well. That may have come out last week or something, I don't know, but yeah, we'll good move. I want to start moving Antonelli on Sainz. It looked super late and super aggressive, but race start 3 place first for some reason. We've just seen action, but we'll do the race start anyway. So great start from Piastri. Really poor start from Leclerc, actually, when you compare it to Russell and Piastri. Big lockup from Russell, so close to contact around the outside there. And then Norris just nicely slips up at the inside of Leclerc, runs all the way to turn 4 side by side. Norris gets that done. Just looking further back here, one of the Saubers there having a bit of a scruffy turn 2-3, losing a couple of places. Possibly Bortoleto currently last, so it may well have been him. Albon side by side with a... So what are we looking at here? Max being a grass. Lando is over his grid box. He is over his grid box. Yes, he is over his grid box. That's it. Yeah. It's going to come down to whether there was just the slightest bit of tyre, any kind of contact patch, and he'll get away with that one. But Hulkenberg pits, by the way, for Sauber to get rid of these soft tyres. Karun Chandler saying he's got to put it into first gear and the car's crept forward, so that'll be why he's out of position. So we'll wait and see what the stewards determine there. Ocon has a lap time deleted as well. As does Hadjar. So lots of track limits coming in today, which you'd expect actually on this circuit, given that it's basically all concrete or similar runoff. Karun saying it's a slam dunk on the Sky coverage, but we'll see. We'll see. Ollie Bearman, just watching him here. This is what I was sort of picking up on, I think. It's a great start from Bearman into turn 1 to take a few places. I mean, he's gained 6 overall. Big twitch from, I think that's Hadjar, isn't it, on the exit of 2. I'm really intrigued here. We're going to watch Antonelli's move on Sainz again, but for some reason from the rear, even though I think the other angle, here we go. The front-facing T-cam. Oh, it's a really late move. Super. He just slung it in there to Antonelli. So I'm coming through. Move or don't, but yeah. And then this could be Verstappen around the outside of turn 4. Let's have a look round the outside. I think he's still got at least his front wheel just on that white line, so he should be okay. Not that he had anywhere to go other than off into the runoff, but yeah, should be okay there. Max Verstappen, no investigation at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on track limits as Hadjar pit. So I assume Hulkenberg's stop was a scheduled one, although it seems quite early. So are we getting high deg here? this was a concern. So Hulkenberg already purple in the middle sector, by the way, on his outlap. So it is good to get a fresh set of tyres on. The medium's the way to go. But a few drivers, including Hadjar, now looking to get rid of those soft tyres. I mean, I'm just thinking now. I mean, no, because they were new soft tyres. They weren't used. Interesting. So maybe high deck. What do you reckon, chat? Let me know. I'll come to chat in just a second, just trying to keep up with what's going on in these earlier laps. Leclerc is struggling a lot on the medium tyre, says Gasly. What's his pace like? So last lap, a 1:38.784 for Leclerc, a 1:38.867 for Gasly just behind, and a 1:38.3 for Piastri, who is now 2.5 seconds clear out front. It is a 5-second time penalty for Lando Norris for a false start for being out of position. So 5-second penalty for Lando Norris confirmed. He'll have to serve that at his pit stop. No choice there. So expect him to wait for 5 seconds when he comes in before changing tyres, whenever that may be. So there we go. 5-second time penalty confirmed for Lando Norris. See if any other incidents have been investigated. They're not. So it's just that one for now. All decided. Johnny Barrio says, my God, Aston are bad. Yeah. They're having a tough start, aren't they, to this season? I still think you've got to remember all the focus of that team is next year, isn't it? And beyond. So maybe it's just going to be a bit rubbish this year for them, and hopefully they'll come good. Is it Coy says, guys, I'm new. What is going on with Hulkenberg? Why is he so far back? Hulkenberg has pitted. So that's why he's so far back at the moment. But his pace is really good at the moment. So 37.9 for him, 38.4 for the race leader. So Hulkenberg, the fastest driver on track at the moment. So there we go. Good stuff from him. He's all good. He's pitted and got rid of those tyres. Hadjar has just passed Hulkenberg now, I say that. Yeah, Norris does creep forward, on the replay. Max Verstappen watching. Love that. Keeping an eye on him. But yeah, he does edge forward. So Norris being told, basically get rid of Russell now. Got to get past him because he's got to build the gap. So we'll see if he can get that done. He's all over Russell at the moment. He's half a second behind him, so it is a move that could happen. We'll keep an eye out for that one. The battles at the moment away from the leaders. Hamilton's half a second behind Sainz, who's got Tsunoda 0.8 further back behind Hamilton. Doohan is still within DRS of Tsunoda in a top 10 finish. Ocon 0.6 further back. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Albon, and then a bit of another gap back to Bearman, then a bigger gap to Alonso, and then sort of 1.2 to 1.6 seconds between the remaining cars, except for Hadjar, of course, who has stopped 15.4 behind Bortoleto. But if he's gone for an undercut here, Hadjar, he's looking good at the moment. Purple first sector. Ocon pits, possibly in reaction to what's going on behind. So Esteban Ocon does pit in the... He's not in an Alpine anymore, he's in a Haas. Brakes are inconsistent. It's so annoying, says Charles Leclerc. I think you could take the "it's so annoying" part, put it on any team radio you like. For Ferrari, as on the subject of Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton down the inside of Carlos Sainz at turn 4, and Sainz is coming back as Hamilton has a twitch on the exit, and Sainz is going to try and slip back through, and does slip back through. That got me a bit, it made me jump a bit, because he just jumped from behind him on the run to turn 4, but yeah, Sainz has fought back and taken that nicely to keep himself in 8th place. Now Hamilton's going to cut back here. I'm not going to use Crofty's phrase. He's going to try it around the outside. Will he try an Alonso into turn 10? Does he dare? No, he doesn't, but he's going to have to watch himself here. He's got Yuki Tsunoda right on the back of him. This is a great scrap. Sainz, Hamilton, Tsunoda, and indeed Jack Doohan. And all the while, as Hamilton's going to have another go now into turn 11, round the outside, he gets the move done and moves into 8th place. Carlos Sainz, though, just sort of going backwards now. Those tyres falling away a little bit as through goes Yuki Tsunoda around the outside of 12. Nice move that from Yuki. And I think Jack Doohan is going to follow him through pretty quickly as well. Doohan doing a great job, actually, out there at the moment. I know his teammates are in 5th, but his pace is good. He's right. Oh, Sainz really bad at the rear there. I think his tyres are falling off here as Hadjar does the fastest lap on a 37.3. Interesting. Piastri starting to struggle, he says on the radio, with his tyres. But yeah, Sainz looks a bit all over the place there. Absolutely. Tyres gone as Extreme Gaming says. And into the pits comes Jack Doohan. Going to try a bit of undercutting as Kimi Antonelli goes side by side with Pierre Gasly into turn 1. Gasly keeps himself in there, though, and stays ahead through 2 and 3. Who got the DRS? It was Antonelli who's going to come back at him for P4, 5 at turn 4. He's gone to the outside. Will he try and cut back underneath? He does indeed. They're going to be side by side here again. And Antonelli, I think, has just got that move done. Nice move from Antonelli. Gasly drops to 6th. Doohan's pitted, as I say. So let's see what happens lap time-wise. Hamilton told the softs are starting to struggle by his engineer, which isn't a shock. That's why a lot of people coming in. But yeah, maybe the mediums are the way to go. And Max Verstappen here all over the back of Pierre Gasly. He fancies P6. He's going to get the DRS because Antonelli has already gotten over. No, he hasn't, not quite. But he is going to get DRS. Lots of lap times get deleted. We could get some penalties today, you know, for track limits. As Max Verstappen nicely there through turn 10. Will he come back at Gasly? Not quite, no. He's going to have to wait for the next DRS zone by the look of it. See, some good racing out there today. Good racing. Norris not able to do anything about Russell at the moment. That's usually where they cut to him overtaking. Piastri continues. So his tyres were starting to drop off, but he is continuing. Don't forget, Norris does pit. Lando Norris in the pits. He's got that 5-second tyre penalty to serve. So this isn't going to work as an undercut. So in he comes. They can't touch the car. Lots of cars pitting as well. So in comes Verstappen. In comes Gasly as well, I think. So Lando does get back ahead. Oh, has Verstappen stalled? No, he hasn't. He's slow away. The red light came on, so a slow stop there for Verstappen, 4.7 seconds, and he loses. He doesn't gain anything on Gasly there. He's going to fall behind that Haas potentially, but that's what it's done to Lando Norris. Gasly and Verstappen behind him. Yes, indeed. Max Verstappen does fall behind the Haas, and I think only just ahead of Jack Doohan. That nearly worked out nicely for Doohan. His tyres are nice and warm, though, but it's a fresh set of hard tyres on Max Verstappen. Is he going to try? Surely not. And go to the end from there. I'd be amazed. As here goes the Haas of Esteban Ocon having a go at Pierre Gasly, but Gasly's fresher tyres. Oh no, Ocon's got fresh tyres as well. It's not. It's who is it? It is Ocon. Yeah, Bearman's up there. Sorry, it threw me completely there. Incident involving Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen at turn 4 has been noted. So I wonder if they are going to look at that track limits thing. So there we go. So Norris down to 14th now after he's stopping that 5-second time penalty, of course. Russell doesn't need to react straight away, does he? What happened to Verstappen? I thought he stalled. So on go the hards. He gets dropped. Oh, the red light was still on and he moved forward. Then the red light stayed on. Then he was told to go. So problem with the lights there for Verstappen. And he was unimpressed on the radio, is what I'll say. He does go before the green light, but there's no, yeah. Let's see some. Oh, Lewis, the rear camera there on what I assume is going to be Carlos Sainz's car. It was indeed, and yeah, very close there. And then Sainz comes back in. That was a great little scrap there. Hamilton got him in the end, of course, at turn 11, but Tsunoda pits. See if the stewards do decide to do about the track limits at turn 4. I thought from the onboard, which is misleading, to be fair, or can be misleading, I thought it was just okay there, but we'll see what the stewards decide. So Tsunoda rejoins 19th after his stop. Norris, purple final sector. You'd expect that on a fresh set of tyres. He's got a bit of... He did have a bit of a gap to Bortoleto, so now 9/10, so he's right behind him, so he's going to be getting a bit of dirty air there. But he should get through pretty quickly, I would imagine. Diana says Piastri should win. Yeah, with Norris getting a penalty, he should be okay, Piastri. So Norris will want to be P2 today if he can, I'm sure. Again, more track limits issues here. Doohan getting a lap time deleted for track limits at turn 13 on lap 11. Norris is right behind Bortoleto. Are we going to see the overtake? We are indeed on the run to turn 11. That move is done. He's into 12th place, is Lando Norris. Piastri continues. Russell will continue. They can continue because, of course, there is that extra 5 seconds Norris had to serve. Yeah, there has been some great overtaking sides to canvas. I agree. As in comes Antonelli, who's been responsible for a couple of them. Definitely. The 10 laps here have had more action and are way more exciting than the whole Japan Grand Prix, says Letox. You're probably right. I haven't even gone back and watched that one. I always watch them back on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday if I've got the time. Didn't even bother with that one. Doing with a big undercut on Yuki. Where is Jack doing? He has got Yuki. He's going to see... Is he going to get Antonelli as well? This is going to be... maybe not too close. No, Doer's not close to Antonelli, but he was, yeah, only 1.3 behind. So the undercut is working nicely here. To be fair, Verstappen does the fastest lap of the race, 37.2. Norris at 37.8. The leaders are in the 39s here, so they might need to start thinking about a stop, because that's quite a... We're watching Tsunoda's pit stop here. So, yeah, the lights are broken at Red Bull. They didn't go green for Max. They didn't go green for Yuki either. So they have got problems with the lights there. So maybe bring back the lollipop. Bring back the lollipop. There you go. Solves all the problems there, apart from running into mechanics, obviously. Daniel says that McLaren likely kept Piastri out to help Norris undercut. What? Undercut Piastri? Probably. In comes George Russell. He needs to react now because Norris is considerably quicker. He's on a 37.8, as I say, and Russell's in the 39. So now he needs to make that stop. He's going to go here to the medium tyres. So I assume that's going to be a 2-stop. It seems too early for anyone to put a set of tyres on and go to the end from here. So I think everyone will stop again. But Verstappen, for example, can run longer because he's got another set of hards. So he's on a fresh set of hards. He can run a fresh set later, or he can put his mediums on if he wants to. He's got a fresh set of those two still to use. So, interesting. Verstappen might be one to watch strategy-wise, but I'm not expecting a win here today for Max, not by a long way. I don't think that's a controversial statement, as Russell exits ahead of Alonso in 7th place, and just ahead of Alonso, by the way, or he's just passed him to get... He may have got past him, he did indeed. Overtook him on track there. So it's just ahead of Norris. 1.8 seconds. So he didn't want to leave that any longer, did he? Did George Russell. So that was good stuff there. They're not investigating Sainz and Verstappen. Reviewed it. No further investigation necessary. So we race on. The only penalty so far was for Lando Norris, a 5-second time penalty. And that was that. He served that ready to stop. Hater Clansom says, thanks for this. Not got broadcast this week. No worries, Clansom. Thank you as always for your support. And Sema Dragon says, awesome stream. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sema. Thanks for joining us once again. Red Bull are ruining both drivers' races, says Johnny Barrio. Yeah. In comes Piastri. Just see this through, then I'll read some more of your comments once we've got these stops out of the way. It is the medium tyres. Fresh set of mediums for Piastri. So where does he rejoin? So Leclerc is going to take the lead here. Don't forget Leclerc started on those medium tyres. That's somebody else diving into the pits behind. Was that a Williams? And then we've got a Haas coming in as well, which is it's Sainz and Bearman pitting. So that's a nice bit of space there actually for Piastri. He's come out just ahead of the Williams of Alex Albon. And he's got 7.5 seconds up to Hamilton. So that's a nice bit of clear air for Piastri, and a car between himself and George Russell and Alex Albon. So nice little gap that from McLaren. So good play there. Yeah, credit where it's due and all that. Lawson lap time deleted. Lots of lap times being deleted. I'll stop calling them now. Sainz, Bearman and Lawson all on pit exit at the moment. Sainz down to 16th. Bearman down to 17th. And Lawson down to 19th. Liam Lawson hasn't quite got track surface slippery in track sector 10 apparently. Yeah, Lawson's just not got to grips with that car yet, has he? I'd imagine when you get dropped from the main team now after 2 races, it's a bit of a kick in the balls, isn't it? So maybe taking time as George Russell passes Alex Albon into turn 11. So maybe just going to take him a while to settle at Racing Bulls. I don't know, but thought he might hop in there and really make a big impression. And he's not. Isaac Hadjar's doing a great job generally in that car, as we've seen. So hopefully Lawson can find some speed sooner rather than later. But yeah, what can you say? Kicking the hairy Kiwi, says Murray. Absolutely, I like that. We'll use that one again. Diana's cheering for Oscar. Can we please have a Tsunoda Lawson crash in the season, says Chase. That'd be a story, wouldn't it? For Drive to Survive would love that one, Chase. They'd love it. Good pit stop for Piastri's Extreme Gaming. I'm on a one snack strategy for the race, says Sighted Canvas. What are we eating, Sighted Canvas? Track's clear, by the way, in sector 10 and 11. They have got rid of the issue there as Pierre Gasly passes Fernando Alonso into turn 1 for P7. I love my team. At the moment, we're still on plan B for Bravo, Leclerc is told, and he said he would prefer Delta. So, if Ferrari can one-stop this, wow. I mean, they've done 15 laps on the mediums. They both started on the mediums. They can go to the hards. Where have they got to get to? They need to get to lap 22 to 28, according to Pirelli, if they're going to make the one-stopper work. So keep an eye on that number, 22. Anywhere from lap 22 and beyond, they can, in theory, and on paper, can make the one-stopper work. Leclerc 38.8, Hamilton 39.2, Russell 37.8, Norris 37.7. It's going to be tough, but the pace isn't horrific from Leclerc. He's a second a lap slower than Russell, but it's doable. I'd be surprised. Sainz purple first sector. So Ferrari one stopping, taking a gamble on strategy. 12th and 13th by the end. I nearly said that, Johnny, doable, but I thought no. I thought it was a bit cheesy, but if you're going to take that, mate, I will give you all the credit for it. There you go. Pit lane incident for Bearman noted. Unsafe releases. Albon and Alonso pit as well. Let's see what they do with their pit stops. Albon in that Williams pulls into the box. Hard tyres for Albon. Slightly slow stop there for Alex. 2.7 for Alonso, 3.6 for Albon. So the hard tyres on for Albon there, which is interesting. It's a bit early to go to the end, but we'll see. We've got a fight here as Kimi Antonelli is all over the back of Max Verstappen for P8. This is the scrap at the moment. So we've got a situation. Ocon has got Verstappen 8 tenths behind him, and then 5 tenths further back is Antonelli. And doing again in the top 10, and he 1.3 further back from Antonelli. So I'm on do and watch today. There you go. Why not? Craig says Ferrari's 1 and 2. Good for the ratings. Absolutely. What's the Leclerc is getting angry on the radio, so they've told him to come in. He's screaming Delta, please consider it, which I'm assuming is a one-stopper. So what Ferrari have done is they've gone to the mediums as well. Sorry, Ferrari fan noises. I just... That's completely no man's land then for strategy, isn't it? Unless I've missed something. Tell me in chat if I've missed something completely. That's no man's land. In fact, Hamilton's going to come out right behind Tsunoda. So how's that... If they pitted earlier, around the time that Piastri and Russell did, it makes sense. They go to lap 17. They've only got to do 5 more laps to potentially stretch that to a one-stopper, which I think is what Charles Leclerc wanted. And they've ignored him, brought him in, and... We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, just whatever, Ferrari. Whatever. I give up. I'd like to say they have more intelligent people than me working their strategy out, but we've seen what they do over the years, so maybe not. Verstappen not happy with grip at the moment. He's got Antonelli still all over the back of him. I might be wrong. It might turn out to be a genius stretch. They're gonna be nice and pacey in this. Oh, Bearman. Might get an unsafe release for that one. Yeah, they're going to be nice and quick during this stint. But I mean, I just think if your driver up front and their pace is okay, it's not amazing, but it's okay, and they're screaming for potentially a one-stopper, why not give it? Why not split the strategy? If Leclerc wants the 1, bring Hamilton in to do the 2 and put Leclerc on the 1, and you give yourself a better shot, surely. But There might be a great reason for it. They might absolutely nail it. They could win this with a comfortable 1-2, and we'll all look stupid, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. Weird. Yeah, do you know what, Extreme Gaming? Don't get it, but who knows? Let's see what happens. Both in traffic as well. So no further investigation for an unsafe release on Bearman. So they were happy with that one. So that's interesting. Penalty served. I just saw penalty in Norris again. I thought, what? Penalty served for his false start. They're happy with that one, are the stewards. So, yeah. Where are we at then? Piastri, after all those pit stops. Everybody is pitted, by the way, now. Everybody on the mediums except for Verstappen, Bearman, Albon, Lawson, and Bortoleto. As we watch Carlos Sainz here. Stroll passed by Alonso. Carlos Sainz on the inside of Isaac Hadjar into turn 1 to take what is P12. So Piastri leads 3.2 seconds clear of George Russell in second place. As we've got Charles Leclerc past Pierre Gasly. Important move there. Lando Norris in third, 1.6 further back into McLaren. If it stays like this, Sean gets a couple of points on his predictions for Thursday, so that's a good thing. Charles Leclerc fourth, 3.2 seconds back, with Gasly in fifth, 1.8 behind. Ocon up in sixth place, 1.9. 8 places he's gained. Great stuff from Ocon so far. Some good strategy from Haas again. Seventh for Verstappen, under a second behind Ocon in DRS. Antonelli also half a second behind Verstappen and in DRS. 1.6 seconds further back is Doohan in ninth, with Hamilton 2.9 seconds behind the Alpine in 10th. Tsunoda 1.5 seconds behind the Ferrari in 11th, with Sainz in 12th place, 1.9 seconds further back. It's 2.1 to Hadjar in 13th. Bearman 8 tenths behind in 14th. Hulkenberg 15th, 4 seconds off Bearman, with Albon in 16th, catching Hulkenberg and 3.5 tenths behind. Now 3 tenths behind. Alonso, 17th for Aston Martin, 4.7 behind Albon, with his teammates under a second behind, as Antonelli has a little look at Max Verstappen. He's going to switch back through turn 1, and then it's 2 and 3. A little twitch there from Verstappen actually through 2. He's not looked completely comfortable in that car. Antonelli has DRS now as they run down towards turn 4. Verstappen goes defensive. Antonelli to the outside. He'll tuck back in, and he might have him here. In fact, I think Antonelli has got Max Verstappen, and through he goes indeed. Verstappen tries to keep in there. Antonelli on the mediums and Verstappen on the hards, but Antonelli moves up into 7th place. Just finished running through. Lawson 1.3 seconds behind Stroll in 19th place, and Bortoleto is last, 1.7 seconds behind Liam Lawson. I'm going to go quiet for a minute and have a drink. I'll be back with you in just a second. Oh, that's better. I was losing my voice there. Came back. Sorry. Apologies in advance. I don't know what to say. The Ferrari thing's bugging me here. Let's see what you guys are saying in chat. This year will not be your year, says Chase. Yeah, it's true. We keep talking about it, don't we? Don't they ask the drivers what they think of their current tyres, says Stemmer? Well, it's Verstappen says everything is overheating, by the way. But yeah, Leclerc was screaming for a one-stopper there, wasn't he? Or I assume that would be what Delta is. In fact, A, B, yeah, could be a one-stopper, yeah. Lewis got Yuki back. Yeah, he's up to 10th place at the moment. Son of Mick in a point, he says, Craig, yeah, of course, Mick Doohan's son. He's in there. Doohan's catching. So Verstappen at the moment is really struggling. 140.4. Doohan 39.2. Antonelli 38.8. So Verstappen having problems here. Struggling a bit. Interesting. Anyway. Lawson's doing amazing, says Gmail CGS. Did you have a splash and dash? I did indeed. Jerry says Ferrari is definitely a psychiatry. Sorry, Jerry, I'm having a moment there. Lewis is motoring, says Clansome. Is Verstappen going for a one-stop, says Andreas. I did theorise that, but it seems like a hell of a long way to go as Lewis Hamilton has a look at Pierre Gasly there. Sorry, Jack Doohan there. I did theorise that, but it seems a long way to go from lap 13. In fact, it'd be less than that. Lap 10 won it all the way to the end on these, given that Pirelli said that you needed to be running to lap 32 to 38. You could do 22 to 28 on the softs and go hard to the end, I suppose. So he wasn't too far off that, but it just seems a bit of a big ask. I don't know. We'll see. But he might be trying it. But if he's got overheating already in the car, he might be on some other problems here at the moment. We'll see if his pace improves. It does a bit. 38.9. Yuki Tsunoda 38.6 in 11th place as Lewis Hamilton goes down the inside of Jack Doohan to take 9th place for Ferrari and go onto the back of Max Verstappen, who is only 7/10 up the road. So let's see this battle. This could be fun. Doohan's coming back at Hamilton, though, to be fair. So not going to get through there. Jack Doohan doing a good job, as I keep saying. Gasly as well doing a fantastic job for Alpine. Alpine, the only team yet to score at the moment, on for 11 points today. So good stuff. Ollie Bearman with a move on, I'm assuming, is going to be Isaac Hadjar. It is indeed. Bearman, just had to lift through two there. Got a bit too close to him. And then he's going to get his DRS wide open. Gets the run at Isaac Hadjar into turn 4. Hadjar defensive. Bearman to the outside. Nice and late on the brakes. Sweeps in. Love an outside move at turn 4 me. And through he goes into 13th. Fastest lap, by the way, currently with Hamilton, 36.7. Doesn't mean anything as Lewis Hamilton passes Max Verstappen into turn 11. Verstappen here going backwards. So whatever's going on, overheating-wise, clearly affecting his pace to a point. But let's not forget that Red Bull's been pretty poor all weekend. So not their weekend at all. Feels... Karun is just saying what I was thinking here. If Verstappen could nurse these far enough, does he go with a set of softs to the end? Or is that what Hamilton... has he got a fresh set of softs? I can't even brake anymore. It's just ridiculous, says Verstappen. So no, he is just struggling with the car. I wonder if it's a strategy thing, but no, definitely not. Black and white flag for Isaac Hadjar, by the way, for track limits. One more and it's a penalty. I think we're going to get a few of those today. Black and white flag for Antonelli as well for track limits. So they need to be very, very careful anymore. And it is penalties for those two as Hadjar drops behind Albon, and moves into 14th place. Clanton says Lewis is liking these tyres. Francis says, didn't Norris get a penalty? He did. Served it at his pit stop, though. So he's served his penalty. 5 seconds for a false start, it's classed as, but he was out of position at the start. So, yes, I just hope Yuki gets a point at this point as a Red Bull fan. It'd be nice to see Yuki get a point. It would be nice to see. So, just nothing else, a confidence boost, isn't it, for him? Sad Mariners fan, if Max finishes outside the points, it'll be the first time he finished the race outside the points since 2017. That's potentially a stat and a half. Quick, write it down. Send it to Crofty. Piastri 5 seconds clear at the front. Russell's pace is really solid here as well. Still keeping Norris solidly at bay. 1.2 seconds between them. And now we've got Charles Leclerc right on the back of Lando Norris. This could be an inspired decision by Ferrari. They may be the ones looking to skip the hard tyre in... Well... They've not got any new... As Leclerc passes Lando Norris' turn 1. Is he going to make it stick there? Norris comes back... Ooh! Close to contact there. Norris cuts back under, though. Leclerc went in a bit too deep. But yeah, Leclerc really fancy to go here at Lando Norris. They haven't got any new soft tyres, have Ferrari. But if they've got a set, they've only got sort of 3 or 4 laps on them. If they nurse the mediums far enough, maybe that's what they're thinking here. Soft tyre to the end. Maybe. But yeah, Norris doesn't have the pace with Leclerc. So Leclerc's last lap was a 37.6 to Norris's 38.1. So Leclerc is quicker than the leader as well at the moment. Hamilton's in the 37s as well, 37.9. So good pace for Ferrari. Is that floor working? That was desperate hopes. Desperate hope. Please, bring them into play. Saga says Max is now in his Vettel 2014 era. So, yeah, Leclerc goes down inside way too late on the brakes, really deep. Norris cuts back, goes back through, not far from contact, but, you know, they're both fine. And off we go again. So, yeah, no, anyone new to F1, Sebastian Vettel, of course, 4-time world champion, sort of disappeared a little bit in 2014, didn't he, given what we've seen in the previous years, and ended up going to Ferrari for 2015. So, what are you thinking? With that one, Sargon, are you thinking Max to another team for next year? Is that what you're thinking, or we're just thinking he's dropped off? I was thinking a minute ago about 2005. and Michael Schumacher, who only got one win that year, of course, and that was because of the farce at Indy, as Charles Leclerc is staying with Lando Norris here, deciding not to go for its turn one this time. So maybe this is what Red Bull are going through. 2014 for them, 2005 Ferrari maybe, as Hamilton has a look at Kimi Antonelli, his replacement, of course, at Mercedes. And here goes Charles Leclerc round the outside of Lando Norris at turn 4. Does he make it stick this time? Yes, he does, and up into third place. Everybody, we think, will stop again. Some might try a one-stopper. Don't fancy their chances, but yeah, through goes Leclerc into third place, and Hamilton passed Antonelli for 7th. Interesting. Maybe Ferrari were right. Maybe. Long old way to go yet. 33 laps. That's plenty of times for Ferrari to be proved wrong. But there you go. Good move from Charles Leclerc. Oh, the drone shot's back. That overhead. Is that the first time I've seen that this weekend? I feel like we must have seen it at some point. That overhead shot of some of the corners. I love it. It reminds me of Micro Machines. Anyway, I don't know why it's Formula One, but anyway, yeah, down the inside for Hamilton and Antonelli. Nice clean move. Off he goes to set off after Esteban Ocon. 8 tenths between them. Bossy says can't wait for Oscar to lead the championship after this one. When was the last time? When was the last time an Aussie led the championship? Would it be Mark Webber, 2010 time? Or did Ricciardo have it? Ricciardo never led the championship, did he? Let me know in chat. I'm going to say Webber 2010. He might have done it in a 2012, but 2010 feels like the right one. As Hamilton down the inside of Esteban Ocon. That was coming pretty much as soon as he got past Antonelli. Up nicely into 6th place. Ocon down to 7th. Still a great showing. Webber 2010. Says Anushka and Sema Dragon say Webber as well. Yeah, that rings, because he was the top Red Bull, wasn't he, for quite a while. Everyone thought he was the one in the title hunt, and then Sebastian Vettel just turned up and went, there we go, I'll have that one. Everyone's pitted, Billy. Everyone's pitted. We've got a real mix of strategies out there at the moment. Some are on the mediums, some on the hards. A lot started on the softs, but actually gave the mediums a go. So everyone has made a pit stop. We think, and it is only think, everybody will pit again, because everyone pitted so early. There's no way they're getting those tyres to the end. So someone might try it. But at the moment, maybe Verstappen might try it, but it's a big ask. So 2 stops expected. Everyone's already done it. So Kevin says, how did Ocon get into 6th place? Question mark. I think it was the undercut, wasn't he? He was one of those that pitted quite early. You know, Hulkenberg pitted early, didn't he? And I think he was one of the earlier ones, Ocon, and then everyone else waited a bit, and Ocon made that work. So yeah, great stuff from Ocon. Wasn't expecting Haas in the points this weekend. They've had the ultimate roller coaster weekend, I think, Haas. No one knew where they were after practice. Ocon binned it in qualifying. Shocking qualifying. Suddenly 7th place. Unreal. So now Charles Leclerc is catching George Russell. Last lap of 37.4 for Leclerc and a 38.0 for Russell. So this is your next scrap at the front. Piastri 6 seconds clear as Max Verstappen pits. He is not going to the end. He's going to put on some fresh medium tyres. So not happy on those. In he comes. That's quite early, you know. He's got a slow right front, it won't come off, and it's gone on now, and off he goes. So a long stop. It's all falling apart for Verstappen today. That's a very early stop. Only 16 laps on the hards then before he's gone to the mediums again. So it's not his day today, as he falls down to last place and behind Gabriel Bortoleto. Nightmare for Verstappen so far. Oh dear. Tsunoda up to 10th place through the stops there. So is Verstappen thinking undercut? Get those 31 laps on the medium seems a long way to go. Or is that just me? I'm going to go back to my strategy guide. It is quite a way, you know. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just having a think there. Is this a 3-stop? I'm not. Let me know in chat what you think. I'm not sure those mediums are going to the end from here. 30 laps. Fuel is coming down, obviously. Track is rubbering up a bit more. Temperature's coming down a little bit as well. Not by much. It's still 26.7 degrees. 30.9 track temperature. Ocon Antonelli pit. So maybe it is an attempt at an undercut. So they are reacting to Verstappen here. So Ocon in, Antonelli in. What are they going to? So it's a set of soft tyres for Antonelli. I think we're on a 3-stopper here. Ocon has pitted as well. What's he put on? What's he put Ocon? I'm not sure. We'll see when he comes out the pit. It's a set of hard tyres. So Ocon's going to the end from here. He can do that from here, can Ocon. Antonelli, though, not only is he on a soft... Oh, look at that. He's fallen behind the Aston Martin and the Racing Bulls. So that's frustrating for Antonelli, who will now slip back up the inside of Liam Lawson quite easily there into turn 4. And now he's going to get rid of Alonso. But that's an interesting one for him, as that has to be a 3-stopper for Mercedes. So now I'm just wondering if that is the case for Verstappen as well, who had that sticky right front. So that was his first stop, which was a slow stop. I don't want to replay that one. Then he has another one. That's Yuki Tsunoda with the same problem. I don't know why we're watching all these replays. There's plenty of action on track F1. We don't need... Well, they're fixing it. They're fixing the traffic lights. Are you shocked that the team are fixing them? Weird. Anyway, yeah, it was a sticky right front. Would not come off. Sparks as well. Not quite as bad as Bottas in Monaco a few years ago. But yeah, Verstappen rejoins in 18. So there's some 3 stops here. Gasly's pitted as well. Surely. Gasly a little slow there. He's put a fresh... So there are... I think anyone putting the hards on now can go to the end. And will go to the end. Anyone putting the mediums on, it's probably borderline. As doing pits as well. Anyone going on to softs is definitely 3-stopping. Definitely 3-stopping. There's no way Antonelli's getting that to the end. But it sounds like Ted was saying there, I was sort of talking over it there and couldn't quite hear him, but I think I caught something about it doesn't matter what tyre you're on, they're all going to struggle. So maybe it's just one of those days. Really fascinating stuff here. Leclerc, his charge is sort of, as Verstappen passes Alonso, his charge is sort of stopped now. He's stayed 1.2 behind Russell, so he's ahead of Norris by 2.1 seconds. So maybe Lando some tyre saving, or just the pace isn't there. Say that, 37.9 for him. So he's not slow, is he, out there? So Piastri, let's have a quick recap of where we're at. So Piastri 7 seconds clear of George Russell. Norris told him, or says on the radio, why is my red light on? I can't turn it off. They're investigating now. So I don't know what the red light is and what that might be for Norris. So keep an eye on that one. So Piastri well clear at the front of the moment. Leclerc just losing a bit of time that lap. Not a lot, but a little bit of time to George Russell. He's in 3rd place in Leclerc. Russell 2nd. Norris 4th with Hamilton in 5th place. Tsunoda is up to 6th through the 2nd round of pit stops with Sainz and Albon both in the points for Williams. Bearman in 9th and Gasly in 10th. Fernando Alonso, 11th place for Aston with Ocon in 12th and Antonelli 13th. Verstappen, 14th. Obviously, that slow pit stop. 2 slow pit stops, actually. His first stop because the green light didn't come on. His second one with a sticky right front. So that's why he's lost quite a lot of time down there in 14th. He has made a second stop, though, which also accounts for some of that. Lance Stroll, 15th, as Antonelli does a fast lap of the race, and Verstappen does it. Lawson is 16th. Doohan, 17th. Bortoleto, 18th. Hadjar, 19th. Hulkenberg, 20th. Sainz passing Tsunoda for P6. But just to confirm, Gasly, Ocon, Antonelli, Verstappen, Doohan, Hadjar and Hulkenberg have all 2 stopped. Everyone else has 1 stop so far. Antonelli is surely 3-stopping. Surely. Norris's red light has gone off, apparently. I don't know what it means, but there we go. Clanton says gap Lewis to Yuki. So the gap to Yuki from Hamilton. Hamilton is 15.1 clear of Sainz and then 8/10 further back. So about 16 seconds. Hamilton back to Tsunoda. So nice. Whoa. Nearly caught. In fact, there was contact surely between Sainz and Tsunoda there. So yeah, Sainz down the inside, very deep. Tsunoda comes back. The big slide for Tsunoda. Definite contact. There's debris coming off the car there. And then a squeeze by Sainz at 3. So that was a good scrap. Oh, and then there's bits flying off Tsunoda's car as well. Or is it the Williams? looks like it might be the Red Bull there. Or was it the Williams? No, it was the Williams, wasn't it? So, a lot of damage to one of those cars, let's put it that way. So, we'll watch the lap time, see what happens. Verstappen, fastest man on track at the moment, as it stands. Has just pitted, of course, for some fresh mediums. I'm still sceptical about whether they're going to the end on those mediums. Unless everyone is just going to 3-stop. It may well be. I think Piastri's got a 2-stopper in the bag here if he wants it. 27 laps to go. Come in, put some hards on or some mediums if he wants and go to the end. He should be fine. Russell the same. Norris the same. Oh, look at all the debris. I reckon, you know, we may get a virtual safety car here. There's a lot of debris from either a Williams or a Red Bull at one of the blue cars. I wonder if they might consider a VSC here, which means I'll get to change the screen to yellow, which is very exciting. Also, well, no, the problem with the VSC is then it's everyone sort of gets that pit stop cheaper, don't they? Which is a shame. But I want to see. Letox just said in chat that there's a clearly visible hole on Sainz's car, so I've not had a proper look there yet. So we'll see. It will be on his right side, wouldn't it? The left as we look at him. So I'll have a look at that when he comes round if we can see it. Of course, all the shots from the other side now that I want to see it. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Sainz's pace isn't good at the moment. Tsunoda back behind him. Albon there now. So through the final corner. Hopefully I'll get an angle I can have a look. I trust you, Latox. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just, just want to see this... how bad it is. It was quite a wallop, wasn't it, in the end? As down the inside of Bearman goes Doohan into turn 1. Tsunoda and Albon all over the back of Sainz at the moment. This is a really cracking race so far. Enjoying it very much. As always. Well, I say as always. Some of them are a bit tedious, aren't they? But I haven't seen the hole yet. But I trust you, it's there. I trust you that it's there. I'll wait for a better angle and see if we can spot it. But safety car deployed. The full safety car has been deployed. So, right, deep breath. About 14 seconds for a stop, according to Crofty. 1-4. So in comes... I'm going to try and keep up with this. I think basically everybody. In comes Oscar Piastri. He will pit for a fresh set of tyres. Let's see what he goes for. George Russell will surely be in as well. This could help Ferrari out massively. Or it will help Ferrari out massively. Norris may get held here as people... Piastri's okay. Norris should be fine as well. So in comes Russell, in comes Leclerc, in comes Norris. Let's see these stops then. So we'll sort tyres out in a minute on who's done what. Piastri's stop was fine. He gets out ahead. Leclerc and Norris exiting everyone's as they were then. So Russell will be P2 net. Leclerc 3, Norris 4. In comes Hamilton as well. Surely everybody pits. You've got to. Tyres are so bad here. What do you do if you're Antonelli? Interesting. What does Antonelli do? In comes the Williams. In comes Tsunoda. So that's Sainz, Tsunoda, Albon. There's an Alpine staying out, but I think the Alpines have relatively recently pitted, haven't they? So Gasly was 3 laps, yeah. So he's already pitted quite recently. There's no need to make a stop for him. In comes Tsunoda. Antonelli is pitting. I thought Antonelli might. Bearman's in as well. I've said Albon. Alonso's going to pit. I think we can safely say most will pit. Gasly won't because he has just stopped. Same with Ocon. Same with Verstappen. No need for them to pit. They gain places. Gasly 6th. Ocon 7th. Verstappen in 8th. Doing up to 9th. He's already pitted anyway. He gains some places as well. I don't know who this is working out well for. I mean, Oscar Piastri will be frustrated. He's lost his lead, hasn't he? But or lost the gap that he had, but he has still got the lead. Who's going to get out here just there? That's Alonso ahead of the Racing Bulls. Yeah, lots of cars pitting there. So Piastri pitted and put the mediums on. Russell pitted and put the soft on. 25 laps. Leclerc's put the hards on in third. Norris has gone to mediums in fourth. Hamilton's gone to hards in fifth. Gasly was already pitting. Had already pitted. He's on the hards anyway. Ocon as well, hard. Verstappen, medium, and doing hard. They're all. They've got some laps on those. It was new hards for Sainz, softs for Bearman. Sorry, softs for Tsunoda, softs for Bearman, medium for Albon. Antonelli softs again for Antonelli. So they seem confident, Mercedes. They can get them to the end from there. Interesting. Alonso went hard tyre. Hadjar already pitted for hards. Hulkenberg for mediums. Softs for Lawson. Hards for Stroll. And mediums for Bortoleto. So safety car is for Debris on track. And this is where the debris came from. Carlos Sainz and... Oh, God, yeah, there's a... Yeah. So it was a separate contact as well between them. So there is a big hole in the side of that... that Williams. We are under safety car, so we can all relax now and breathe and go top up on your snacks while we're waiting. Oh, contact as well there between between Stroll and Lawson. Front wing to rear wheel, both okay. No big damage done, but still contact nevertheless. So Piastri had a 6-second lead. Has now got Russell obviously right behind him under the safety car. But yeah, that is for Debris. Nobody's retired. We still have 20 cars in the race. Interesting. Oh, I don't know what to say now. I'll have a drink before we get going again for the safety car restart. But that's made it interesting. Who's it won? Who's come out on top here? Disappointing for Piastri. They are having a look at it. Or they've noted it, by the way, the incident between Tsunoda and Sainz. Piastri loses that gap that he had. Russell was kind of a second, 1.2, 1.4, consistently ahead of Leclerc anyway, so it's not really ruining anything for him. It's brought Norris nicely into play. That said, George Russell says 24 laps on the soft. That is pretty audacious. There you go. Yeah, Norris was kind of in there anyway as well, so it doesn't affect much for him, just keeps him closer to the race leader. So Piastri a big loser there. Big wins, I guess, for Gasly, Ocon, Verstappen and Doohan, who didn't have to pick because they just pitted, so they managed to jump a couple of places there. Yeah, Antonelli, I guess, is what you could say, gets a few fewer laps on that other set of softs he had. But I'm surprised they're going for the softs here. Audacious is the word that George Russell's used. 25 laps on them. We'll see how it unfolds. Daniel says, if the tyre temperature is causing the degradation, maybe a soft can even be longer lived than a medium. I think that happened before. There we go. Keep an eye on that one. It's a good point, actually. Keep an eye on it. Change to a two-stack strategy now. Society canvas was quicker under the safety car, you see. Russell in prime position, says Louis. That's a great point as well. Yeah, he's going to be... That's my stomach rumbling. Someone says snacks and then they got hungry. Shocking, I know. Yeah, that's a good point. Russell's going to be nice and grippy at the start here, isn't he? Which could put Piastri under pressure. Yeah. Norris being told that Russell's already worried about the softs. The soft was mega, says Norris. I think it's a good tyre, so he shouldn't be concerned. So Norris sharing the point there made by Daniel potentially. So maybe the soft is the tyre to go for. Interesting. The soft tyre was... It's a C3, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah. C1, C2 is the hardest in Bahrain, yeah. Safety car in this lap. So 2 seconds. Let's have a quick drink. Back with you in a sec. Oh... Martin Brundle there just saying he's not sure that anybody's entirely sure whether they get to the end because of the mixture of tyres, which actually... Medium, soft, hard, medium, hard, 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 medium, hard, hard, soft, soft, medium, soft, hard, hard, medium, soft, hard, medium. Yeah, he's probably got a point there, to be fair. Safety car is ending. They're just going around turn 10 now, that tricky turn 10. Hopefully we're going to get good. The safety car was for Debris, Justin, after contact between Tsunoda and Sainz. Both are continuing. Sainz got a hole in his car, though, unfortunately, so that's what the safety car was for. Oh, totally ready for this. Hamilton, what's happened to George Russell? Nothing. The time he just fall down the timing tower there. I was like, oh no, what's happened? He's fine. George is still P2. Don't panic. Kevin says, is Sean chugging an afternoon beer? If I was still independent, I might do, but I don't know if that's wise. This is work now, so technically I'll be drinking on the job. Here we go. I think George Russell's in a good spot here. I think people are right. We are ready to go here. When does Piastri go? Don't want to go too early, does he? Because you've got the toe down the straight, but he can't leave it too late. He don't want to be running into turn one, but we are green and we are go. Good restart from Piastri, actually. And Russell, and that's a very slow Ferrari off the final corner. So a big defence there from Charles Leclerc on Lando Norris, who's now got Lewis Hamilton for company. Are we going 3 wide into turn one? We might be. We might be indeed. We're not quite. We are a bit further back there. Oh, this is going to be chaos. Safety cars breed safety cars. I don't know what's happened at the front. I think Hamilton's got Norris. I think Hamilton is ahead of Lando Norris. That's a big moment in this race, potentially. As defensive as Hamilton goes through turn 4, he has round the outside Norris. I'm trying to remember who's doing what there. And Norris back round the outside. Was he all 4 wheels off the racetrack, though? He may well have been. Hadjar drops to 17th according to the timing tower, but Lando Norris was passed by Lewis Hamilton briefly. Norris now back on the back of Charles Leclerc. The hard tyres just take a little bit of time here to come to life. No further investigation on the... Lando passed me off track, says Hamilton. Yeah, no further investigation on the Tsunoda and Sainz incident. So here's what happened. So, obviously... Antonelli and Albon have had a moment, but yeah, there's we'll get to that in a second. So Leclerc has to go defensive. That allows Hamilton around the outside of 1 and then inside of 2 on Norris. He gets a little twitch on the exit of 2 through 3. Then we're going to see Hamilton gets the toe. Then Norris comes back at Lewis Hamilton around the outside of 4. Let's have a look. Does he go all 4 wheels off? Yeah, that's all 4 wheels off, I think. Again, the onboard can be misleading. I think that's all 4 wheels off. I think Russell's having trouble with this transponder here, you know. It keeps dropping all over the place on the timing tower. So we'll see what the stewards decide there. If he doesn't give it back and he was all 4 wheels off, that tends to be a 10-second time penalty, doesn't it? Norris told to give back the position to Hamilton. Is he going to do it? Where's he going to do it? I assume on the run to turn 4. He needs to do it now because they've got an Alpine sniffing around there of Pierre Gasly, but through goes Hamilton. And Norris back down to 5th place. So not what Norris needed at all there, but that's what happens when you overtake off track, I'm afraid. It's well baked into the rules there. And the lap time was deleted, so he definitely was off track at turn 4. So... there we go. So Piastri has kept the lead, fended off nicely. George Russell never really came under threat, did it, at that early phase? I think a great restart from Piastri and Russell. It was a twitch from Leclerc at the final corner, potentially, that cost him that time. And this is Alex Albon and Kimi Antonelli. Carlos Sainz. That's late on the brakes. Big lockup, and that forces Antonelli to go wide. No contact, but through goes Sainz. And Albon sneaks through as well. So that was bold. In fact, I think Carlos Sainz was off track as well. So Sainz, yeah, I thought Sainz was off track. I don't know if you saw it on the replay there, but he might have to give that place back to Antonelli. Interesting. Scrapping going on. Good to see. Piastri, fastest man on track at the moment, 55.3. And Leclerc and Russell again dropping, but ignore the Russell thing. It's a transponder issue, definitely, because he's still second. Everything's sort of jumping around because it's a problem with Russell, I think. He is not dropping down the order. Ignore that. Lawson Stroll incident noted. We'd mentioned that earlier. So Russell down to 20th on the timing tower as Lando Norris goes to the outside of Lewis Hamilton at turn 4. And he gets through this time and will keep that position. Does indeed. So yeah, ignore the... Russell is not 20th. He's not. He is still second. The driver tracker is correct. The timing tower is incorrect. There's a transponder issue clearly for Russell there. So just saying that for anyone just coming to the stream. So now Norris has to chase after Charles Leclerc for 3rd. Off goes Piastri. I mean, well, it's difficult to say, really. 1.3 seconds, I assume, Russell to Piastri, because he's not 3.3. And it says Russell has stopped. Russell has not stopped. Oh, this is going to make things confusing now, isn't it, for timings? I assume... No, we'll have to manually keep an eye on George Russell. This tyre sucks, says Lewis Hamilton. A few got rid of the hard, didn't they? Verstappen got rid of it quite quickly, so maybe it's not the tyre to be on. Maybe soft was the way to go. It's not good for your transponder. There we go. George back up into second place on the tower there. 1.5 seconds off the lead with Leclerc 1.9 further back. And then Russell's now going to plummet it back down the tower again, isn't he? Yeah. Sorry, guys. That's not even a multi-view problem. That's an FOM issue. That's at the... Let's watch what's happening on track. Oh, Bearman going late there on Tsunoda. That was a late one indeed. And Tsunoda's going to just about stay ahead. We've seen that a couple of times this season, Bearman quite late on the brakes, haven't we? So maybe that's going to be his thing. Here comes Alex Albon. Oh, that was a late one from Bearman. I think that move a little bit late, but might let it go. Was he attacking Tsunoda or defending? That's going to allow Antonelli back past Alex Albon there, who had to back out that move, and through goes Antonelli into 11th place. Albon in 12th, well, it'll be 12th place, won't it? We have to replace George Russell. Good move, that. From Antonelli in the end, but frustrating for Albon. I want to see that one from Bearman, seen quite late in the end. Dareman, says Daniel. Quite brave. Ollie Dareman. I like that. From 20th to 2nd, and in the blink of an eye as well, Kevin. That's impressive stuff. Not everyone can do that. Even the transponder doesn't think George is doing anything, says Sighted Canvas. I mean, Russell's done a lot of overtaking if we look at the transponder. Went from 2nd to 20th, back up to 2nd, then back down to 20th again. So, I mean, a lot's gone on for George Russell today. But he is P2. Can confirm. I can see him on the track. He is turned to. He is P2. He's now P2 on the timing tower. That'll fail again, I assume. It is indeed. There you go. So that's, I'm not up on how these transponders and that work in F1. Without sounding too much like a granddad, but he goes across the start-finish line and then registers P2, but then plummets back down to last place. So obviously something's triggering as he goes over the line, isn't it? To put in P2, and then it's failing after that. So interesting. I don't know who's got what on track limits. I've kind of lost count, to be honest. I'll tell you what I could do, actually, if this works without causing me too many problems. Let's get the track limits tracker. Goodness me. No, I'm not. I won't read too much into that, actually. I was going to say Antonelli has actually had 5 track limits violations, but I think that's because you get the one at the final corner counts for another lap, doesn't it? So you get 2 for that. As Antonelli does get past Alex Albon, as we saw earlier. Hadjar's had 3. That, again, is quite misleading, this, because obviously when you come out that final corner, if you go wide, you get that lap time deleted, but then to stop you gaining an advantage on the next lap, you get that lap time deleted. So I think Antonelli and Hadjar are on black and white flags, so 3 apiece, aren't they? So yeah, but we've got Norris on 2, Doohan's on 2, Alonso on 2, Lawson on 2, so a few just need to be a little bit careful, but we're getting towards 18 laps left now, so shouldn't be too bad. Craig says, I think the cars are the transponders. Maybe, yeah. I have no idea how it works, to be honest. I might have a look at that after the... it'll be tomorrow now, because I've got enough to do this evening and till probably about midnight tonight. But yeah, I'll have a look at that later in the week and see if we can come back to it next week out of interest, or ask the question to someone more technically minded. It might be a great story in it somewhere. I don't know. Nice little gaggle of cars here. We're still with Doohan, Tsunoda, Bearman, Antonelli, and he's about to be joined by Albon again. So nice little group of cars that could be fun to watch. Safety car infringement, Lawson and Stroll noted turn 4. So I'm not sure what that will be. Could be overtaking under the safety car. 17 to go. Who is going to be sweating on their tyres a bit here? 5-second time penalty for Liam Lawson for causing a collision. That'll be the one where he whacked Stroll with his front wing. Both were fine in that one though, so yeah, not well, I suppose he's forced his way through, hasn't he, that way, but It is a 5-second penalty for Lawson. I'll be honest, not going to destroy his race too much. He's 14th at the moment. Is ahead of his teammate, though, interestingly. Maybe the safety car helping him there. Hamilton says the car won't turn. He's 1.9 behind Norris at the moment. Russell's just playing on easy mode, jumping from P2 to P20 and back in just a few seconds, says Dallin. Yeah, he's going to do the tyre challenge where you use all tyres. I'll be in for intermediates and wets in a minute, and then he'll come back through again and then pit again, then still win it. You see, that's what he's up to. We know what he's up to. We've worked that one out. So we're watching at the moment the battle for P9, 10, 11 and 12 with Albon sort of getting involved as well now. So here comes Antonelli now. He's going to get a go at Bearman, I think, into turn 1, possibly at turn 4 as well. No further investigation on the Lawson Stroll on. Bearman locks up into one, goes a little bit deeper than he wants to do, really. That's going to allow Antonelli to switch back and get nicely behind him. Both will have DRS. This is probably a bit of a DRS train, but we've seen lots of action. So Tsunoda having a little look at Doohan, Antonelli a little look at Bearman. Nothing doing there, though, unfortunately, for Antonelli. The soft does seem to be a good tyre, you know. Russell's matching the leader on the medium tyre on a set of softs that are 3 laps older. Obviously, already done some laps on them before he put them on. We're going to watch the incident again for Lawson. That's got in the 5-second time penalty. I don't really know what to say about that. That's a different one. That's on a Sauber. He's hit Hulkenberg on the side pod there. And then, so it wasn't the incident with Stroll. It was the incident with Hulkenberg that he got the penalty for. Hang on. Causing a collision, Stroll and Lawson under investigation. There's no mention of Hulkenberg here. Although, as we saw in qualifying yesterday, Hulkenberg doesn't exist to the stewards, does he, until quite late on, so we'll see what happens. Turn 10 incident involving Sainz and Antonelli under investigation, forcing the driver off the track. That's the one I spotted. Sainz on the inside quite aggressively on Antonelli quite late. That forced Antonelli wide. Sainz also went off track as well, so I assume that will be some sort of investigation. Whether or not they have a penalty, we'll see. Max Verstappen, by the way, is up into 7th place somehow. Despite all the chaos and the safety car and all that, he's still up in the points. In fact, do you know what? If Verstappen finishes 7th, he'll have finished where he started, but that doesn't tell half the story of his race, does it? At all. So that'd be quite amusing, I suppose. The graphics this season have been a nightmare, says Steve. Yeah, Stuart and I were talking about this the other day or last week on WhatsApp. Sort of, they've had all winter to get them refined. They had all of testing to try and iron out any bugs, and we're 4 races in, and they're still all over the place, aren't they? They keep going down, and it's frustrating. Yeah. Hopefully, they'll get them sorted before much further. Sighted canvassers, don't leave your seats, folks. It's going to be a mad dash to the end with pit stops. We reckon we'll get some more stops then. Still 15 laps to go. There's quite a way to take some of these tyres. Yeah. So, does that mean Russell doesn't have DRS? No, Russell doesn't have DRS. He's 1.9 behind Piastri. His pace is still good, though, Russell. Norris starting to get a bit more interested on Leclerc now with DRS, 7/10 behind. The hard tyre is not the race tyre, is it? It's a 10-second time penalty for Carlos Sainz for forcing the driver off track. I think that is that one. It is the turn 10 one, is it, that we were watching? So it is a 10-second time penalty for Carlos Sainz. That would drop him from, I mean, he's 16th at the moment, so again, not going to destroy his afternoon. Damaged car as well, so he's probably struggling. I mean, his pace is, he's in the 39s, Hulkenberg's in the 37s. Hadjar's 6/10 quicker, and he's in the 39s as well. So, yeah, not going well for Sainz here, but probably take his penalty and move on, unfortunately. Daniel says Hulkenberg will probably suddenly get a disqualification for Melbourne in the winter break. Yeah, January 3rd, disqualified. What? Yeah, that was weird yesterday, wasn't it? Really weird, but I guess in the FIA's defence, if they don't get the alert until they're well into Q2, then there's not a lot they can do, but still. Twitchy there from Norris to 11. But he is right on the back now of Leclerc. 7/10 between them. I I think Piastri, knock on wood because the net will kill me if this all goes wrong. I think Piastri looking good here. He seems to have this in the bag and the pace to control things. Russell is only 1.5 clear of Leclerc, so if Norris does get past Charles Leclerc, it won't be long before he's on the back of George Russell. But that soft tyre working very nicely here for Mercedes at the moment. Black and white flag for who? Antonelli's just... Antonelli has just got... Sorry, I heard it on the... Yeah, Antonelli's just got another warning for track limits. That's going to be a 5-second time penalty for Antonelli. He's had his 3. He got the black and white flag. He's just had his 4th. So that's it. And we have an issue affecting DRS. It's a timing issue only. I can give you a default to override it, is what Russell is told. So he's got a problem with his DRS, but he's been told they can fix it, or at least give him an override. So good news there. What are we watching here? Carlos Sainz. I want to see the one at turn 10. It wasn't that one for forcing a driver off track. Why are we watching that replay? Is that just the context of it? I don't know. That's definitely not the one for forcing a driver off track. It's the wrong corner for starters. But it's Alonso around the outside of Sainz at turn 3. Nice little move. Yeah, massive. I'll tell you what. Yeah, huge side hole in the side of that side pod Latox. You were bang on. That is massive. So that's why Sainz's pace is so bad. In fact, he's down and out. I assume he served his pit stop, put some softs on. His penalty in the pit stop, put some softs on, and off he goes. So Sainz is last, but he's not going to get anywhere with that because his tyres, his car's knackered. He's going to lose so much time with that. Leclerc could just do with getting a bit of DRS here from George Russell, couldn't he? Just a little bit to keep him ahead of Norris, who is going to have a little look into turn 1. He's going to go to the outside. Big lockup from Norris. He's going to go deep. Just keep it within track limits, though, which I think will be a relief for him because he's on 2. So he's just lost a load of time there with the lockup into turn 1, attacking Leclerc. He drops now over a second behind, I would imagine. 1.3. Sainz asking for Tsunoda to be investigated for the incident at turn 1, which has obviously damaged his car. George Russell has stopped on the driver tracker, but he's still second on the timing tower. So who knows? George Russell may have stopped. He may still be going. I don't know anymore with George Russell. I assume he's still going because he's still on the timing tower. But yeah, interesting. To move to the left there from Norris and the lock up on the inside has cost him, and there's this fans frustrated in the grandstand there. All the emotions at once there. Russell is still sat there. He is still going. George Russell is fine. Sainz told Box to retire the car, so they did pit him to put the softs on, serve the penalty, and then he'll come in now and retire the car. So Carlos Sainz is our first retirement of the day with 12 laps to go. These cars are ludicrously reliable, aren't they? I tell you what, though, as we saw back in 2014, with a brand new set of power unit regulations, get ready next year because we'll see some reliability problems early doors. Russell's just exploded off the screen, as in I don't think he exists anymore. The driver tracker, I don't know what he just did to Russell, but he's gone. It looks like he was kicked off somewhere. Looks like Bethesda graphics. Yeah, boof, off he goes. He's still on track, though. He is still racing. He is still 4.3 seconds off Oscar Piastri in P2, so he's okay. But yeah, that just caught out the corner of my eye there. Weird. Schrodinger's race driver says, yeah, both second and DNF. Yeah, that's what we'll call him. We'll call him Schrodinger. George Schrodinger Russell. Going forward, that's it now. Or an alien. Yeah, could be an alien. 4.3 between Piastri and Russell. Piastri, like I say, seems to have this under control. Leclerc still 1.2 clear of Norris. Wonder if there's any issues there with a flat spot for Norris as well. Hamilton 4.2 further back in 5th, with Gasly in 6th, 3 seconds off Lewis Hamilton. 7th for Max Verstappen, 1.5 seconds off Gasly. Ocon 5.8 off Verstappen in 8th place, and a really good 8th place as well, by the way, for Ocon. Same with Gasly in 6th. 9th for Tsunoda, potentially a couple of points there. That'd be big for him. 1.6 behind Ocon, 1.1 behind is Bearman, who's got Kimi Antonelli interested in that final point. So possibly a point for Antonelli or Bearman, but also possibly a penalty for Antonelli because I think he has exceeded his track limits quota. I might be wrong, but I think he got the black and white flag. I'll go back and have a look in a second. Doohan, 12th place, 9 tenths behind. Albon, 3 tenths further back in 13th. Lawson, 14th, 2 seconds off Albon, with Hulkenberg 2.8 further back in 15th. Hadjar, 16th, 2.3 back. Alonso, 17th, 1.7 back. Stroll, 2.6 behind as Doohan drops behind Albon on track. Bortoleto, black and white flag for Doohan as well. Norris has no drink by the side. Piastri, sorry, no drink at the front. Bortoleto, 7 tenths behind Stroll, and Sainz has retired in the pit lane with that damage to his car. So, no drink for Piastri. Black and white flag for Doohan. Black and white flag also for Antonelli, and Hadjar. So, I think Antonelli, who had a lap time deleted on 1:39.9 at 19:05 local time, might be on for a penalty here. We'll see. How did Russell come from P20 to P2? Honestly, DVJ, we have no idea anymore. He's got a transponder issue, so he keeps dropping. He's not even on the driver tracker anymore, and he keeps dropping down the timing tower and then coming back up again as he goes across the line. We don't know why. Well, it's a transponder issue. So I can confirm George Russell is still second place, 4.9 seconds behind Oscar Piastri. So here goes Lando Norris. I think he's got the run at Charles Leclerc he needs here. Still closing. DRS wide open. Leclerc goes defensive to the inside. He'll force Norris to the outside. That'll allow Norris to tuck back underneath. He'll get DRS on the run to turn 4. He's really close through 2 and 3, but not an awful exit from Leclerc. Not perfect. He'll get DRS again. I assume he's going to head to the outside of 4. That seems to be the favoured overtaking spot. It's quite tight around there. Norris has got some great grip. Leclerc's going to put the squeeze. Oh, Leclerc squeezes him off the track. That's cheeky, but you're allowed to do it. He wasn't completely alongside. Crofty was just saying it there. I was going to say, and I will freely admit I'm biased towards Ferrari, particularly Charles Leclerc. So I will accept that, but I'm pretty sure that was fine. Good, hard, fair racing from the Ferrari, and Lando Norris would absolutely do the same if the boot was on the other foot. So I'll wait for a replay of that one, but I don't know what that means for track limits. I don't know if they clarified this or not, but that might be black and white flag for Norris if he went off track, but he was forced out there, so I don't see why he should get the black and white flag for that if he was pushed out there, but it's a pretty automated system, isn't it? Let's have a look. Crofty, just getting on to what we were talking about like 3 hours ago, as it stands, Piastri would take the lead of the Drivers' Championship, would become the first Australian to lead the World Championship since, you were right, chat, Mark Webber in 2010. You need to get your own live chat, Crofty. They're saying he was pushed off, but I'm not. He wasn't even alongside, no. Not far enough for me. I'm fully aware that was biased. I don't care. I'll admit that. Here he goes again, Lando Norris. He has a look at turn 1 again. I think the sensible thing to do is to sit through turn 1 and 2, get the good exit from 2 and 3, and then go for the run at turn 4. But as we've just seen, Leclerc will squeeze you out. Leclerc doesn't have DRS available, but he's also not close enough to Russell, so I don't know if that's a mechanical problem. I'd like to see that from on board with Norris, actually. Interesting. What do you think, chap? Russell, there's a chance we will lose the dash. Just keep driving as normal if it happens. So they're definitely having lots of issues at Mercedes with the electronics. As long as the steering wheel doesn't fall off, says Russell. A bit of a reference there to Fernando in practice, if you remember, where his steering wheel came off. Cheeky. They're not all still in the race, Red Raven. Sainz has retired, mate. He's retired from the race. He's in the pits. He's got big damage to his car, so he's out. Schumacher says, where is Russell? He's P2. Don't worry, he is out there. Timing tower is currently correct. The driver tracker is wrong, but that may reverse in a minute. We're having all sorts of trouble if you just joined us, Schumacher. It's been quite amusing. Not for those trying to keep up with what's going on, but still quite funny. Here goes Norris again then on Leclerc, struggling to get past here. He might have a go. He seems a little bit further back this time, so maybe he'll try and take him by surprise, but Leclerc seems just have him covered there. It's the run to turn 4 where Norris seems to get the better. He gets a good exit here from 2. And as I say that, Leclerc gets a better exit from 2. Just, whenever I say something, the opposite happens, so... Gabriel Bortoleto isn't going to win this race. There you go, Pascal, just for you. We'll see if it does work. 7 to go, sorry. Lap 51 of 57. Norris is close into turn 8, having a little look potentially. Maybe just thinking about trying something different here. The DRS pass isn't happening at the moment. Not going to go into 10. It'll get the DRS on the run to 11. I'll keep an eye on that while I'm keeping an eye on you guys in chat as well. But this is the battle now for the final podium place. So Lawson and Hulkenberg is under investigation for causing a collision. I think there's something going on somewhere at race control as well, because we're getting messages that were from coming through now that were from a while ago, unless Hulkenberg and Lawson have just had another incident at turn 1. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know what's going on. So Ferrari is quick without DRS, as cited canvas. He's doing well, actually, without DRS. But we're going to fight. I say that. He's doing terribly without DRS. I don't want to jinx him now. Let's see. So DRS open for Norris. He's going to close and close and close. We'll keep an eye on Russell's team radio. Gears are effed. What's going on? Default 10, he's told. Blue default 10. So Leclerc goes defensive. That's going to give Norris a better exit here. Russell has been noted for a DRS infringement. Keep an eye on that one. Here comes Lando Norris. So he's got the exit he needed off of turn 2. Leclerc will go defensive. Norris to the outside. He's got him this time. Surely Leclerc will keep himself in there. No, Norris has gone deep. Oh, and a big twitch from Leclerc, and that just lets Norris off a little bit there, I think. Norris went deep, whether it was just squeezing Leclerc at all or being squeezed by Leclerc, I don't know, but he went a little bit deep and then got a twitch as well. And I thought Leclerc was going to come back up the inside, but he got a twitch himself, so no. So incident involving car 63, that is George Russell noted, DRS infringement. So if... Not a safety car infringement, so a DRS infringement. So I wonder if that's to do with the override. So he's been told not to use DRS as George Russell. He's not close enough anyway to Piastri. But I wonder if he's, after the override, it's opened when it shouldn't have at some point. Maybe. Here is Max Verstappen now on the back of Pierre Gasly. So... Norris is past Leclerc, by the way. I'm just trying to work out where everyone is on the actual track, because I think timing's going a bit waffy here. So Verstappen's just coming across the line now with Gasly. Yeah, so the timing's okay. Just take a little while to update for some reason. So there we go. So they're going to investigate after the race with George Russell. So now we're going to hang around waiting, which means Thomas's video will be out of date by the time it goes out. So that's annoying. So yeah, George Russell again under investigation. Post-race. So if that's open when it shouldn't have done. Annoying. Russell is P2. He 100% is P2. He may not be post-race if he gets a penalty. We'll see what happens. Black and white flag for car number 4. That's Lando Norris for track limits. Was there anything on commentary I might have missed there, chat? If you're listening to commentary as well, or you've got any more information I haven't got as to what that might be for Russell. I'm just assuming that when they've used the override, maybe it's enabled it to be used when it shouldn't have been, and that's... Well, apparently Russell's DRS is open according to the timing again. I want to see George Russell on the camera here, because according to the timing, his DRS is open, but it shouldn't be. Unless it's a glitch. It might be a glitch to do with his transponder. It might be registering that he's got his DRS open when he hasn't. I don't know. Because apparently that could be the override because it's constantly open according to the timing. And there's no way Russell is using DRS through turn 2, 3, and... Well, I mean, if he is, then he's... Yeah. He's in big trouble. Driver of the day vote. Norris has 1. Antonelli has 1. We still don't know why. Tsunoda has 1. We still don't know why. The most bizarre votes for a while, actually, on the driver of the day vote. But yeah, I don't know what's happening with Russell. We can't see him at the minute, but he's definitely P2. 10-second time penalty for Liam Lawson. Another one. So Leclerc told to get within 5 seconds of Russell because he might get a penalty, which makes sense. I'm not sure what's going on with the... I think there's an issue with timing somewhere across the whole system with FOM because there's messages coming through as well on the thing that I'm not convinced they are new. But yeah. Lawson could have another... He's got it is a penalty, a genuine penalty. There we go. Verstappen all over Gasly, or closing in on Gasly, I should say. So in terms of infringements, Antonelli, I'm sure, is due a penalty, you know. Norris has had a black and white flag. Hadjar and Doohan as well. Bearman's just got his first or second. So I'm afraid this is going to be one of those, we get a race result, and then we have to wait for the final race result as Tsunoda gets a black and white flag for track limits because Russell's under investigation. Yeah, and Norris is right in the back of George Russell here. So I think to be honest, I think I'd rather Norris and co got past Russell now rather than we having, you know, the wrong people on the podium if there is a penalty. But frustrating. Verstappen he's right on the back of Gasly now. He fancies this one, does Verstappen. Norris is on the back of Russell. I'm just watching the DRS. So the timing tower that I've got, the timing information I have here, if you've got multi-view, you have the same, says that George Russell's DRS is open, but we can see George Russell there. It is not open. So it may be a technical glitch somewhere that's triggered to say that that's open. So Norris has just been told we can only use DRS if we are 100% sure we're within it. So there's something going on somewhere with DRS, isn't there, at race control? So I'm just listening to Crofty. He's saying there that if Russell's transponder's on the blink, they can't be sure they're close enough, can they? So they need to definitely know they are within a second before they can use it. So this is interesting. He's definitely within a second, 100%. So he'll definitely go for it. There we go. DRS open for Norris and not Russell in P2 there. So interesting. Bring back the V12, says Courtney. Piastri another win, says Alto. If it stays like this, I think Norris is still leading the World Championship, isn't he? As it stands. So Shez says which lap? We are on lap 56 of 57, 2 to go, including this one. So we're nearly at the end of what has actually been, if you've not been watching, a really, amazing live stream. But obviously, more importantly, a far better race than we had last weekend. It's been a great race. Lots of action throughout the field. Some real twists as well in strategy. Some surprises in there as well. Soft tyre holding up really, really well. George Russell done 26 laps on these. Didn't think they get to the end. We were talking about 3 stops, which he hasn't done. He's done 2, which is the better race tyre. So it's been really great. Strategy, overtaking, bit of controversy, some drama as well. A random safety car because of debris just to throw things into the mix. It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed this one. So there we go. Happy days. Happy Sean. Lap time deleted for Verstappen. Black and white flag for Verstappen as well. I don't know why I had to do that quite as camp as it came out, but it did. Max Verstappen, 3 strikes then so far, so no more track limits for Verstappen, although it will be a penalty. Here we go, last lap of the race. So Norris needs to get this done now. Obvious statement alert. I'm looking at the driver tracker like it matters. It doesn't because Russell's not on there. But here we go. So he's got to go for it. If not turn 1, it needs to be turn 4. Russell will defend like crazy, but bearing in mind he may have a 5-second penalty hanging over his head here. Post-race, he goes defensive. That puts Norris to the outside. Russell will put the squeeze on. He does indeed, so close to contact. As the squeeze is put on, Norris now may find himself. This is good for Leclerc, by the way. It's going to bring him into play if Russell gets a penalty for third place. So this might be good for Leclerc, but Norris couldn't get through. Not worth the risk in some ways, but no guarantees that penalty is going to come. So he needs to get it done on track, really. But it's looking as though Russell has weathered the storm. One more DRS zone to go. I just wondered if he might go 8 there. He didn't. One more DRS to go. That's the run to turn 11. So this is the last thing that George Russell has to do to defend. And then he needs to go and fight his case with the stewards for his DRS issue. It still says loads of people got DRS open when they haven't, which is strange. So, or within DRS, sorry. So here goes Norris then. DRS is wide open for Lando. He's not going to be close enough. So unless Russell makes a mistake through here, he should be good. But where is Oscar Piastri? That's what we need to know. He's coming down towards turn 14 now. You'll hear Annette cheering from Australia in a moment, for sure. Oscar Piastri round the final corner to wrap up what's been an incredible week of him. Great pole position and a great race as well. Fully controlled. Oscar Piastri wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff from Aussie P. Norris is closing in on Russell in the final corner, but Russell's going to hang on for a provisional P2. Over the line he goes for provisional second. Lando Norris in third. Charles Leclerc fourth. He is within 5 seconds of Russell, which could be critical for him. Lewis Hamilton is going to come home in 5th place, 8 seconds behind his teammate. We've got a scrap going on right now between Antonelli and Bearman for the final point in this race. Well, I'm pretty sure Antonelli's due a penalty for track limits. I might be wrong. We'll find out in the coming hours. Verstappen passes Gasly over the line somehow. So wherever he passed him, we didn't see it, but Verstappen comes home 6th. It's 7th for Pierre Gasly. It's 8th for Esteban Ocon. It's a couple of points for Yuki Tsunoda at Red Bull in 9th. It's Bearman in 10th. It's Antonelli 11th. It's Albon in 12th. Doohan in 13th. Hulkenberg 14th. Hadjar 15th. Obviously, Lawson's getting penalties here, so he's dropping down the order. It's Alonso in 16th place. Is Lawson 17th or 18th? He's 17th for Lawson, 18th for Stroll, 19th for Bortoleto, and Carlos Sainz retired. Oscar Piastri, race winner again. First driver to win 2 Grand Prix this season so far. So what does that do for the championship as things stand? Obviously, again, there is a possibility here that George Russell gets a penalty. We'll see what happens in the coming hours. But Lando Norris is the world championship leader still, 3 points clear of his teammate Oscar Piastri. Oh, this is going to get tasty, isn't it? Max Verstappen, 69 points. Nice. In 3rd place, still in the mix, absolutely. George Russell, 63 points. I don't want to get a penalty now because 63 points, that's his race number as well. So there's some tyre talk maths in there somewhere that I can use. Charles Leclerc in 5th place, 32 points for him, 30 points for Antonelli, 25 for Hamilton in 7th, 18 points for Alex Albon in 8th place, 14 for Esteban Ocon in 9th. Stroll still has 10 points, Gasly on 6, Hulkenberg has 6, Bearman 6, Tsunoda 5, Hadjar 4, Sainz 1, Alonso, Lawson, Doohan and Bortoleto yet to score. In the constructors, McLaren are disappearing with 151 points for them. Mercedes in 2nd on 93, Red Bull 71 in 3rd, Ferrari 57 in 4th. Haas have got 20 in 5th place, 19 points for Williams in 6th, 10 for Aston Martin in 7th. Racing Bulls have 7 points in 8th. Alpine have 6 points in 9th, 6 points in 9th, and Sauber have 6 points in 10th place. Every single team has scored, and we're only at round 4. That's what we like to see. Oh, so big if, we don't know yet. Jack Doohan's had a lap time deleted. That might be penalty for him. He's not in the points, so that's fine. But yeah, if George Russell does get a 5-second time penalty, that would drop him to 4th. Anything more than that, he should still be okay in 4th place, I think. Yes, he would be. If Antonelli gets a penalty, it'll move Albon up, it'll move Doohan up, but then Doohan might get one as well. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Doohan's on investigation of track limits. That'll be a 5-second penalty, so he'll drop down the order, but he's not in the points anyway. So we'll see what happens. Antonelli's not been investigated, so I assume that's all okay then. So maybe it was the final corner, but there we go. Oscar Piastri. He gets all the cool photos with the fireworks in the background there as he jumps off his car. 5-second tyre penalty for Jack Doohan. That's going to drop him down to 15th. 15th. Yeah, 14th, sorry. 15th. There we go. I was right first time. Trust yourself, Sean. He's 15th. Just ahead of Alonso, 2.5 clearing out. So that's a penalty for Doohan. Nothing for Antonelli. Let's see what happens with Russell. But yeah, Aussie P is a race winner. There you go. Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that. That was a good race. That's a better Sunday. Lovely stuff. Please do drop a like, by the way. Some will start to disappear now. Appreciate your company. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do leave a like before you go. We're nearly at 200. 1,200 of you here. Let's see if we can get those likes well over 200. Maybe 250 while I'm just saying this bit. And subscribe as well if you are new so you don't miss any future content. Lots to come over the next few days and over the next few weeks. It's a long old season and we've got you covered here at the F1 Word. So lots to come. So please do subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Drop a like. Thanks for your comments as well. I'll go through the order in a moment again just as a results thing for a time stamp, and then we'll have a little bit of a chat between us because I kind of didn't get the opportunity to talk to you as much this week in chat because things were happening on track. So there you go, and we'll do all of that and a few questions, and then I'll wrap up probably about just after 6 p.m. UK time. So probably about another 20 minutes maybe, something like that. So we'll see how things go. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. Russell has appeared on the driver tracker. He's back just before turn 9 for some reason. There we go. That's where it all just died from there, didn't it? So there we go. Right. What time are we on the stream at? 2:16-ish. I'll try to remember that. I'll forget it anyway. But Oscar Piastri has won the 2025 Bahrain Grand Prix, finishing 15.4 seconds clear of George Russell, according to the timing there, with Lando Norris in third place, 7/10 further back. Piastri now moving to within 3 points of Norris as it stands in the Drivers' Championship, but George Russell is under investigation for a DRS infringement. That'll be investigated after the race, so keep an eye on socials for any decision there. If he gets any penalty, Leclerc will be promoted to third, but at the moment he's fourth, 3.4 behind Norris over the line, with Hamilton in fifth, 8.3 further back. And Max Verstappen, miserable day for him, but still started seventh, finished sixth. Could have been a lot worse. 6.4 seconds off Hamilton. Pierre Gasly, great weekend for him. Seventh place in the end. Some good points for Alpine, their first of the season. Just 1.6 behind Max at the end. I haven't seen the overtake yet on the final lap. See what that is. Esteban Ocon quietly going about his business this year, picking up some good points for Haas. He's in 8th place, 8.2 seconds behind Gasly, with Tsunoda with his first points for Red Bull. 2 points, in fact. 8/10 behind Esteban Ocon. And Ollie Bearman, 2.5 seconds behind Tsunoda, and gets another point. Bearman, another one, quietly going about his business, to be fair. Antonelli in 11th place. Good racing from him today. Lots of action, involved in a lot of things as well, actually, wasn't he? 3 stops as well, although one was under the safety car, so not as big of a hit, but still, that would have affected his overall race time. 8/10 further back is Alex Albon in 12th, with Nico Hulkenberg 13th, 4.6 behind Albon. Hadjar, 2.8 behind Hulkenberg. He's in 14th. Jack Doohan, 15th. He crossed the line in 13th, didn't he? But dropped to 15th after he got a 5-second penalty for track limits. That drops him down to 15th. Wasn't in the points anyway, not a disaster. 1.4 behind Hadjar as it worked out. Alonso, again, pretty poor from Aston again today. They're really struggling this year. Hope they can turn that around. Alonso 16th, 2.5 off Doohan. Lawson 17th, 4 seconds off Alonso. Stroll a second further back in 18th. Lawson got a couple of penalties as well, I think, today. Bortoleto 19th, 1.3 off and in last place. And Carlos Sainz didn't finish. He retired late on with that damage to his car following that contact earlier in the race. What was actually shaping up to be a pretty decent weekend for Sainz, as it turned out, and then it all kind of fell apart with that contact. So a bit frustrating from Sainz, but at least we've seen a better weekend for him and some progress at Williams. And just if you're interested, the fastest lap of the race, it doesn't mean anything anymore apart from being a stat, went to Piastri, 1:35.140, and apparently, despite the fact he's static on track, George Russell is still doing 151 kilometers an hour. I imagine that's how fast his brain works, and that's what it's picking up on. But there you go. Piastri, the winner, closing the gap in the Drivers' Championship teammate, and moves into second place as well, ahead of Verstappen. So let's see what happens with Russell now. I'm not going to stay live until the stewards make a decision, because that could quite literally be hours. In fact, it will be hours. So, yeah. Pascal says that happy with Hulkenberg's race after a poor start. P13 is not bad, and more importantly, just a few seconds behind the points. Quick question, actually. Who got driver of the day? I didn't see. Who got? Don't do me your. We'll do your driver of the day in a minute. But who got driver of the day officially? I didn't see who that was. Is it like Stroll or something? Because we seem to be having weird drivers of the day. It probably should be Verstappen. Sorry, Piastri. Today I was reading two things. Sorry, Piastri for driver of the day, really. But was it Hamilton? He's up 4 places. So I just try to think of his race. He's up 4 places. Was involved in a lot of action, wasn't he? I think that's more justified than some of them we've had, but I still would have put Piastri above him. I think Leclerc as well. Gasly, I think, drove well. Ocon's up 6 places. Bearman's up 10. So I think there's some good candidates actually this week. So not quite as... I guess for Japan it was tricky. But yeah, no, I would have put Piastri in there probably as well. Yeah. So a bit more justified than the last couple we've had, but still maybe some others more worthy. We'll do yours in a bit though for driver of the day. We'll just I'll take a few comments and questions, then we'll do driver of the day, and then we'll wrap it up from there. F1's optical timing system, bizarre, very bizarre. Is Sainz at risk for a grid penalty since he didn't serve the penalty, says Nilesh. I thought he did serve the penalty. I may have missed it, but I think he came in to make a pit stop, put a set of softs on, then did a lap or two and then retired. So I assume, because when he came into pits, he would have had to, as per the regulations, serve that penalty to make that stop. So he must have served it. Let me have a quick look here and see if there's anything. Where are you, Carlos? Carlos. To be fair, it doesn't say he served it on the timing thing, but who knows with the timing thing anymore? Okay, maybe he didn't then, but I would have assumed if you come in and pit, you have to serve the penalty, don't you? So I assumed he would have done, but can't know for sure. So we'll see. I don't know if Annette's still here, but if she is, she probably isn't anymore. She's probably fainted from all the jumping around. Energized says he served the 10-second penalty before he retires. I thought he would have had to by the regulations, but you never know sometimes, do you, with F1? Can surprise us. Piastri, perfect race from start to finish. A sighted canvas. Also have to remember as well, dealt with a safety car restart, didn't he, as well? So, yeah, good race from Piastri. But we'll do driver of the day in a minute. I'm just going to keep an eye on the interviews, keep an eye on your comments, read a few of yours out as well. As far as I saw it, Williams just retired. Site says they're talks. I'm sure I've got 4 stops and 4. So start tyre, and then 3 changes of tyres, which should be 3 stops. Mediums, hards, then he did 4 laps on the soft. So I think he came in, pitted, served his penalty, went out, and then came back in again to retire. Again, I might be wrong. You might be right, vice versa. We'll find out in time, I'm sure. If he didn't serve it, he'll get a grid drop for the next race. So there you go. A couple people in chat obviously didn't watch the race, so we'll ignore that and what actually happened. I think I heard a faint scream in the wind coming from the direction of Australia, says Red Raven. Yep, that was a net. And all Australians, to be fair. Is Leclerc third, says Drift? Not yet. He might be. It depends if George Russell gets a penalty or not. This is the overtake then. Max Verstappen on Pierre Gasly on the last lap. Up at turn 4. Round the outside. Nicely done, though, with the help of a bit of DRS there. Of course, that is a DRS zone. But a bit of defence from Gasly. Bit of a squeeze, but nothing doing. Max Verstappen around the outside to take P6. And just, I'll make the point again, consistency in these early races could be critical for Red Bull if, particularly Verstappen, if they get on top of that car. If they don't, then it's irrelevant. But just, these passes here and there, these 6th place finishes, they could come into play later in the season. But McLaren looking pretty damn strong, aren't they? They certainly were today with Oscar Piastri. Norris served his penalty at his pit stop, Drift. When did he? I can't remember his pit stop was now. Yeah, he served that his pit stop, so he has actually served that penalty, so all good. Morris says, I think that was his first safety car restart. It may well have been as the race leader, yeah. Because there wasn't one in China, was there? Qatar, maybe? When he won the sprint, was there a safety car there? I don't know, but certainly this season. Let's say definitely this season. It may be. But he handled it well. It was a great restart, actually. I thought he'd be under threat from Russell into turn one, but he just wasn't even at any point, was he? So, yeah. Sophia says, after the stuff with Russell, do we think it will end up being Oscar, Norris and Leclerc? Again, I don't really know what's happened. If the manual override, which he's had to put in because he's got that problem, has opened the DRS, it'll probably be a slam dunk. In fact, it will be a slam dunk. So yes, it would be, because that will put Leclerc up to third place, Norris up to second. But I don't know what the actual issue was. Again, if anyone in chat knows for sure, do let me know. Ash says, solid race, good strategies all around, good intrigue, good overtakes. Yeah, lots of action today. Bit of drama as well, and possibly some chaos too. We've got a double yellow in Sector 1, which is now clear. There's nothing happening. It's probably George Russell out there again. Russell making the live stream NSFW again. As always. It's what he does. Yeah, we won't know yet, Neil. He's got to go to the stewards. That'll take... I mean, last night took ages, didn't it, for the other one to come through. So, for the one-place grid drops to come through. So, I would say, what are we, nearly 6 o'clock UK time. I think you're looking at 9 o'clock tonight before we hear anything. It's another 3 hours yet. He's got to go through... Because he's on the podium at the moment, he's got to go through all the... He's got to go through the podium ceremony. He's got to go through the interviews, the press conference. He's got to do all the media duties, basically. Then he's got to actually go see the stewards. Then they've got to deliberate, and then they've got to announce a decision. So it could be a good 3 hours or so before we hear anything. I think it was 8. In fact, I'll tell you if I remember. I bet I don't have it, do I? Yes, I do. It was 22:20 local time, so it was 8:20 UK time. So well after the session last night finished, before the decision was made. So we'll see. We'll see. Right. Who is your driver of the day in chat? That's what I was going to do. I was trying to think what I was going to do. Let me know. One surname, driver of the day. You can put an honourable mention in as well in your comment, and I'll read that as well. I'll give you some shout-outs before we wrap up today. I am going to be boring and go with the race winner, Oscar Piastri, because I think that was a brilliantly controlled race. Never really looked under threat. Drove well, managed his tyres well. Dealt with the safety car restart with potential pressure well. Never really looked back from qualifying yesterday. So Piastri, I'm going with him. But honourable mentions for Lewis Hamilton up 4 places. Esteban Ocon up 6. And Ollie Bearman up 10 places. So some honourable mentions in there, but I'm going with Piastri. Also, if you've not been watching F1 this year and you go to Wikipedia and you read it and you see pole win, pole win, pole win, it looks pretty dull, doesn't it? It was a bit dull in Japan. But, yeah, it is, a lot more's happened today. It is a pole to flag victory for Piastri and another pole winner, but it was actually still a lot more enjoyable than it made me look. So there we go. So that is 4 races. And if we include the sprint as well, is that 5 races the pole sitters won? I'm off to Wikipedia. Hang on. Where would I be without this bloody website? So pole win, pole win, pole win, pole win, and then the sprint, Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, he was on pole for the sprint, wasn't he? You've probably already told me in chat, and I'm still going to go and look. Yes, he was. So there you go. Every race we've had this year has been won from pole position. But today was cracking. I enjoyed that one. And actually, to be fair, Australia was madness, wasn't it? So there you go. Let's have a look at your drivers of the day then. My voice is going for some reason now, so I might sound all husky and awful. I can't find... Where do we start? So Daniel's gone with Gasly. Drift Expo goes with Leclerc. Crofty said George got 5 seconds, but he known to be wrong 9%. Honestly, there's nothing on the timing thing just yet, so we'll keep an eye on it. Sophia says Bearman or Oscar. Latox says driver of the day Bearman. Drifter's gone with Leclerc. Sorry, I'm just having trouble with the chat again here. Gasly and Bearman, honourable mention for Steph. Absolutely. Like I say, I mean, collectively, great weekends. And Ocon as well. I'm really impressed with him too. Yuki's my driver of the day because he's Yuki, or Bearman, says Kevin. Getty from P20 to 10 in a Haas, says Latox. So definitely stick with Bearman there. I'm just, if I'm erming a bit more, it's because I'm just trying to skip over some of the usual weird comments that people need to leave after a race for some reason. Ash says Lewis. Actually, I don't know if that's Lewis for driver of the day, but we'll go there. Pascal says driver of the day Bearman. Honourable mention Hamilton and Hulkenberg. Piastri for a well-managed race says Killjoy. Craig says it was an interesting race. It was indeed. What place did Ocon start from? 6 places back, so 14th, wasn't he? He started from, so good stuff there. Red Raven says sounds about right. Piastri better than Norris, says Husky. Honourable mention Yuki, proving worthy of taming that bull. Much better weekend for Yuki. Yeah, I will say that. Great to see him in Q3 yesterday. Lawson never troubled Q3. Tsunoda didn't in Japan, really, did he? So to get a couple of points as well, so that's a good stuff for him. Seven says Gasly if you get the Alpine's first points. Ain't the majority of race for pole today anyway. Do you know what, Red Raven? I will go and check that stat after the stream, and I will come back to you next week. I'm sure you'll be here next weekend at some point. Remind me of it, and I'll let you know what I discovered. Because do you know what? I'm sad enough. I will count. I will find the stat, and I will work it out. Ollie for Ace. Neelish says Ferrari strategist driver of the day. Do you know, actually, to be fair, they nearly pulled it off, didn't they? There was a moment where I thought they might have got it right, but yeah. It wasn't too bad in the end. There was a moment in that race where I really, if you weren't here, I just was head in hands. I thought they completely cocked it up. So actually, some good points there and some decent strategies, it turns out. So I'll let them off this one. Good to listen to both my national anthem, says Annette. There we go. Annette's very happy. You're still dancing. I imagine you are. And John has gone with Hamilton, but I'm going to go with Piastri for this one. So there we go. Oh, any more? Any questions, anything you need to know or anything you want to know before I wrap up for today? I think we're about done now, aren't we? We've been going since 3:30, so about ready to call it a day, I think. But there is Piastri with his medal. I still don't know why they get them. They just do. I suppose it's nice. Easier to store than a trophy, I guess. Another Constructors' Trophy for McLaren as well, of course. They're looking good, aren't they, for the titles this year? Who'd have thought 10 years ago when that Honda disaster started, McLaren were back at the top? Not me. I could tell you now, not me. No worries at all, Kevin. It's great to have you here, mate. Appreciate the company, and I enjoy the banter as well. I know you're very excited about the Constructors' Championship, so yeah. Red Raven has 40% in the back of his head for pole to win, so I'll have a look. I will have a look. I am that sad. I definitely will. How screwed is George? 5 or 10? I would have said 5 would be my guess. Yeah. It could be 10. It depends how serious the infringement was and what the regulations say, but forgive me if I don't go and start reading through the regulations right now. I think we're done. Bangs Sopo says Lawson better than Al Jaswari. Not a DJ, and he ain't. I just left when Norris overtook Leclerc, says Isla. And a couple more comments. Russell driver of the day, even though I slightly dislike him for arbitrary reasons, says Neelesh. Yeah. Red Raven says, I think if able, the stewards will be lenient as he clearly had issues before from how it sounded. They might do, but then there may have been mitigating circumstances yesterday and they weren't. Well, in one place drop wasn't disastrous, is it? So I suppose. But yeah, we will. Craig says Alonso, question mark. Oh, what have I missed? He's 16th, Alonso. I feel like I've missed something now. I've said something. Maybe. I might have missed something. But yeah, anyway. Is it Isla? I apologise. I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Norris is not world champion material as a random person. Lawson had a shocker, says Nilesh. I don't know what the Alonso thing's about, so I'm sorry if I missed something there, but there we go. I don't know, but if I've said something that I shouldn't have or I've made a mistake, I apologise. But yeah, I'm just going to do something while we're live because this could be quite amusing for anyone who gives a damn. Oh, we're getting battered by Newcastle. Jolly good. Anyway, I'm going to go cry over that now. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. Oscar Piastri, fast lap of the race, just confirmed there. We knew that anyway. Yeah, thank you for your company this afternoon. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. I will be back. Let's go to the end screen for a change and get it right for once. There we go. I will be back on... Well, Thomas is going to be with you shortly after the stream today with the wrap-up from the paddock in Bahrain, like we had yesterday before the race, obviously. Elizabeth is with you tomorrow for a post-weekend video. Sam's got a short out on Tuesday and on Wednesday. I'm back on Thursday with the preview and with a short on Friday. And, of course, I'll be live next weekend for the qualifying watch-along for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and the race watch-along as well. Please do drop a like before you go if you haven't already, and subscribe if you are new so you don't miss any future videos or streams. Whew, that's another weekend done. 20 to go. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.